Oh my gosh, we're here. We're alive. Hello, everybody.
It's
Yay.
terrible. Disgusting.
So, um, it's been a while since we've actually kicked back and relaxed and played some Dungeons and Dragons. I want to say the last session we had was what did we say it was, Jim? It was like
November.
yeah, November. Hey, chat, how's it going? It's been a while. Hi, Lionheart. It's been a hot minute. And then a couple of weeks ago, had like a little like, hey, recap 2023. Let's talk about some stuff for 2024. And then promptly, none of the things I had wanted to happen. It's already been derailed. This whole 2024 completely derailed already. As of like 2 minutes after, I was like, hey, here's some ideas for 2020.
Are you saying we're terminally
for.
behind schedule?
I'm saying I am terminally trying to make a schedule to even
Okay.
have some concept of my placement in reality.
Okay.
Let alone coordinating with everyone else's placements in reality, because it's one of those like, hey, there's a chance we could do stuff today, and then it's like, hey, people are unavailable because real life matters first, and so it's fine. You can't be behind if we don't have a schedule. You know what? That's make a good point there, Natty.
I think that is an excellent plan in action.
Yeah, no, that checks out. It makes a lot of sense. It really does. So that's the we kind of talked about where things were at for me personally last time, but you guys, what's going on with you guys since November, since last people saw you and talked to you and all that stuff? Like, what's going on? What's new and exciting? How are your Christmases? How was Thanksgiving?
Good Lord.
How's all
That was the last time, dude?
We last played in the middle of November, yeah. So we didn't have Thanksgiving. We didn't play in December at all because Christmas. We didn't play at all in January. And here we are now at the end of February, finally playing 3.5 months later. It's this great thing that we do where we have a cadence where it's like, oh, cool, we're playing like every week, every other week. All right, let's stagger it out. It's like once a month again. Oh, now we're back to every week for 3 weeks, even 4 weeks. At one point, we had 4 episodes in a row. We were at a hot streak, and then 3.5 months of nothing.
Radio silence.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's the best.
I don't know. I'm gonna be a dad. That's common knowledge, I think, right? Still.
I mean, you were a dad before. Now you're going to be a dad more. So,
But I will be again. Yeah.
It's not again. You didn't stop being a dad yet, unless something else happened that I don't know about.
I mean, I'll still be a dad, but I'll be a dad again. Like the
Okay.
level of dad increases. You know what I mean?
So you're daddy squared?
Cubed even.
Playing
cute.
zone defense now.
Yeah. Although I think
That's
the oldest
exciting.
might be on my side. I don't know. We had a really good day. She just got over an ear infection.
You had a really good day.
So there was a really, really deep low, but then now we're headed back up, and she was a good little girl today.
And we're hoping
Aw.
that carries into the entire
The
birth
next
of your
like 20
child.
years. Yeah, we hope it carries on until she gets married and I don't have to worry about her. Because that's the value of a woman as it transcends from one man to another. It goes from her father to I'm joking.
I was going to say, this looks like a hole that's getting dug here.
This was going to go into a very interesting, very quick, redirect.
Why is Emily blurrily standing behind you with a knife?
Yeah, I just felt like a chill, even though it's 70 degrees where I am right now. It just went down. I don't know.
Oh,
No, everything's good on my end. It's been two.
good.
You know what? It's been 3 long. I'll say it.
We're finally having the white man podcast moment keep going. This is according to
somebody
chat.
get Joe Rogan on the horn. That's where I should go next, right? Joe and Jordan need to get into a room together and just have a real strong conversation about where women like find their true value and like their callings. Because if anybody would know, it would be
Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and Stewart.
Men. Yeah, dude, we can figure it out. Like, how hard can it be? Yikes!
Oh my gosh, I'm so
thank
sorry,
you.
Grady. When you have to edit this,
A lot of cuts, a lot of hard cuts.
No, clip it,
Oh,
it,
no.
use it in the
Don't
Don't edit anything.
In the
We're ashamed
promo.
of nothing.
take it out. Well, there's some things,
No, there's
things
quite a bit of
sometimes.
shame, but it should be public shame.
But as men, we repress it.
You know, he's got a point. He's got a point. We do tend to repress our shame,
Listen, I don't do anything to
along
cope
with
with my
everything
shame
else.
at all. Hang on a second, I'm thirsty.
Yeah, who's coping with coping with?
Who's coping with straight bourbon? I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to say that sounds like some serious coping juice there.
That sounds like a rich man coping. All right, this is like bottom store vodka. That if someone needed to cope, that's probably what someone would use. I'm not me because I don't need to cope. That's
Like in a plastic bottle.
Oh please, I'm not.
Twist off top.
I'm not a heathen. It's still glass, and yes, it's you know what, Jim? Yes, it's a twist off. That doesn't mean anything.
So, Dave, how are things going in your side of life? Let's just how are things with you, Dave? Dave, tell.
Also going to be a dad.
Yeah, dude.
Hearing that we haven't done this since November, I definitely did not tell you guys in November.
That's
so
true. That has been a while.
Twoo.
Yeah, baby boy.
Son of a bitch. Son of a.
Stu is super excited for me.
You know what? I hope he's healthy. That's all I care about. Is the health.
We have anatomy scan on Friday, so very excited for that.
Good. That's really good.
I built a crib.
Aw.
You put it together. You didn't build.
You put it together, or did you whittle it down?
He went out. He gathered the wood.
I believe grammatically, built a crib is accurate. I will not specify whether or not I
harvested the materials yourself
and measured and cut on my own.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, it's okay if you have assistance.
Screws went in holes, and a crib was.
Well, that's what.
Yeah, they did. That's how the baby.
In the first place.
A crib was not there, and then a few hours later, it was in fact there. So,
built. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's mine now. We're taking it away.
It's been taken.
I have a cat that needs a new bed.
Yeah, this would work. This would work for that.
Yep.
Be kind of
overkill
for a cat, but
no, cats take up as much space as they want. That's the problem. I mean, this whole bed. Whose is this? Is this mine or is this my cat's?
Belongs to your cat.
I'll give you a hint. It's not mine. Jim, how are things with you? Anything?
Absolutely nothing has changed. My fantasy of maintaining a stable existence, staying out of jail and out of trouble is maintaining very well. There are no children in the future. I've been very careful, make sure that hasn't happened. All things considered, it's a nice, quiet life. There are times when it gets boring, and I would like to have a little bit more progress, forward momentum, but I can't complain because I'm doing okay.
Okay. He's managed to figure out a way to put his body in perfect stasis while also being able to move, if nothing has changed at all.
That's pretty much it.
Damn. Well, cool. Sam and Shelby are kind of sort of running late.
Wait. Being the white guy consortium, you can speak for them.
That, you actually make a great point. We make a great point. Sam, no idea what's going on in their life. In fact,
they're gonna love this. They're gonna love when they listen to this.
Basically nothing to it, other than job chaos continues to stress them out and consume their very being.
Reign supreme.
As far as I know, the holidays.
And say that I'm remaining very quiet and not agreeing with anything.
I just want to say I'm an ally.
I am out.
You know what? Honestly, you're conspicuously silent. Maybe you should say more You know
No.
what?
You know,
Your silence is what's the word?
Deafening.
Complacency.
Oh.
You're complicit in your silence.
Let's do a twist on that Shakespearean thing. Methinks he be silent too much.
oh, apparently the White Guy Consortium has been formed. According to chat, we are
No.
officially the
No,
White
it
Guy
has not been
Consortium.
formed.
Uh-oh.
WGC? Should we
Yeah.
get shirts?
No.
Yes, yes. I will forsake the Dungeon Master shirt and oh, let's see, chat can't see that. Yeah, Dungeon Master
Let's get
shirt. I
some
will forsake
WGCs, dude.
for
WGC
the
in chat,
WGC.
honestly.
Oh gosh.
Gosh, what is supposed to be a D&D session is now turned into a D&D podcast that has turned into just white guys shooting the shit about whatever podcast. All right,
But
cool.
but you
About how hard life is.
but do you
About
realize
Yes.
how much?
we're the victim.
Oh, hold on. Now, let's stop for and think for a second. Do you know how much money we can make doing this? Just bitching about everything at random. Joe
You know,
Rogan's getting
you-
what, 100 million? Come on, we don't
You've
even have
got
to
a
know what we're
point.
talking about.
You've got
I
a
could
point.
go for 5. You know what? Let's start the ball rolling. Start the bidding at 5. There's
I-
4 of us.
yeah.
There's one of him. That's like quadruple the value.
I agree. We are obviously worth more. There's more of us. And, well, I don't know. I mean, he's pretty bulked up. We may combine our weight and match his. I don't know.
Oh no, please. What is he's like 5'7"?
Oh, is he only 5'7"?
I don't know. He seems kind of short. It could just be the bald.
Well, he does seem kind of short, I will admit.
It could be the bald. I don't know. Although, I mean, I don't know. Looking at the it's starting to go.
Right there.
Okay, we're diving very very much into. So Sam, stressful work life. That's as much as I know, and you know their family also stresses them out, so they're just living in stress. Shelby and I went to Japan for a week, and we posted pictures of that in Discord, which the link isn't working, so that's cool. So if you want in the Discord, we can figure out how to fix that at some point. But yeah, other than that, Shelby, you know, she also had Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then she also had back surgery, which happened like right before the last session that we had. And then she's doing well, recovering from a bunch of that. And that is all I'm going to do to speak to her, because I'm not good at doing things like that off the cuff because they're real people. If they're fake people, I can talk whatever. Like I could just talk about I could just make up a ton of like tragic backstory for random NPCs on the fly. That no problem. As soon as it's real people, it's just like people. I don't know how people work. I don't know what you're talking about. So if anyone else wants to come up with some random bullshit for to fill in the gaps of their lives while they're not here, before I explain why they're not here, or
It's work related.
well, yeah, basically, Shelby's at work. She'll be here when she get here. Sam, same thing. Sam will get here when they can get here. And the other part is that today's D&D session, you know,
As a sponsor.
10 minutes into being
By
live.
Squarespace.
We're actually now today's D&D session. For those of you who watched the end of last session, these three gentlemen, these fine individuals here, managed to get themselves, beaten within an inch of their lives, and then disappeared. And so we are going to have kind of sort of split sessions. So we're going to cover part of what's going on with them and continue with, and that's part of where Sam and Shelby not being here right now works.
Kind of works.
And then depending on decisions that are made during the session will kind of dictate when we transition to having the other half of the story.
Well, wait, you can do your Paul Harvey impersonation, and that is the rest of the story.
And that's the way it was. Oh my gosh. You got it. Natty, stop. This is not.
Please.
Parent.
Please.
Natty, please. We are not sponsored by any of those people, especially the last two. I don't know if you guys can see the last two.
Where are they? Share it's class.
I'm gonna post them in the because this is gonna get expunged. So we're just gonna
You don't want it on the record. Yeah.
you know what? We'll put it on the record. Who cares? It's on the Twitch VOD at this point. People who can see this, and I'd have to mod her out to do this. So, it's we are not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends or NordVPN or Surfshark or AirUp, or then the last two are my favorite here:
Raid
Adam
Shadow
and
Legends.
Eve or Bad Dragon. Just because we're playing Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh, so
this is
I
not
mean,
that kind of dungeon. We
I
are
try
not
to
getting
have-
involved with those kinds of dragons.
I try to have an open mind, but like Bad Dragon, that's going pretty deep in more ways than one, and not all of them.
You're just making it worse. You're just making
He's
it
making
worse.
it-
Listen, you know what? Privacy of your own home.
Sorry. The full tagline. Natty's disappointed. This D&D stream is not sponsored by Bad Dragon. Tame your dragon today.
I feel like if I had a dragon, I would also have heartburn.
Okay, I just speaking strictly for myself, I think that was actually a really good list, all things
Yeah.
considered. I think it was a good list.
Yo, Raid Shadow Legends.
Hell yeah, they
Join
sponsor everything.
today. Curate your party to fight the things and earn some stuff.
Okay,
And
so
everything, and every time you turn around, they're asking for money.
But
they could pay
be
us money
cool.
to tell them,
Yeah.
them being you viewers, to play those things. So if you guys
Use our code naturally one, the number.
Oh my gosh, this is possibly going to get us in trouble. You need to be very careful on how you proceed, Stuart. We are
didn't do it.
not actually sponsored, so we are not going to do any of that.
But if you get an email from somebody that's claiming you've won something, and
It's not real.
I mean, probably not.
Unless
Click
it's
all
from
the links
my-
and make sure to send them your credit card information, your social security, and passport numbers.
At least minimum.
Emphasis on this is a joke, ladies and gentlemen. You don't
For
if it's
legal
in-
reasons.
For those of you who are pretending like you don't understand what a joke is, it's a joke. Don't do it. Okay, just don't.
Okay, all right.
And-
Before we get
and
ourselves,
you want yes, you, the one guy right now who's already got your wallet out. Put your card back. Don't do it. There's always one guy.
Gosh, let's see. Any other random tidbits of wonderful information? Oh, so that that podcast and stuff that we've been talking about for the literal almost 3 years that we've been running this campaign.
Well,
Oh yeah.
I'd say 2.5 years, right?
I
Something
feel
like
like
that.
we have a 3-year buffer because COVID, right? Like, as far as time goes, if you talk about 3 years, you burn 3 years.
That's we'll go with that. We'll use COVID math. So there's been some good progress, but also with that progress, some interesting delays. As we continue to work on getting the podcast version out, it has turned into also having our episodes post-processed in a similar fashion to the podcast. So there will be, some cleaned up, streamlined versions of that, because it's, 3.5 to 4 hours of content up front, and we'll have a streamlined version which seems to, get truncated down to anywhere between like 90 minutes and 2.5 hours. So we are able to do some of that.
Are you implying that somebody is going to be sorting the wheat from the chaff?
There is a
Careful.
lot of chaff. There's a lot of chaff, and I'll be honest, I produce a lot of that chaff. In fact, I went through and had started doing the editing myself many a moon ago, before Grady came along to assist with this and start looking at all that. And I realized that, yeah, I'm the one who produces the most chaff. And
Are you
Grady
really?
has done a fantastic job. Yeah, I'm the one who produces
You
a
know,
lot of the excess.
Can we get a percentage breakdown on that, just out of curiosity?
I need a burn down chart of chaff.
So 15 minutes up in the middle, or 15 minutes up front, 15 minutes in the middle, and then 5 to 10 minutes at the end of credits. So that's 40 minutes taken right off of an episode, is just the pre, mid, and post.
Okay.
So that's takes a 3.5 hour episode down to 2 hours and 50 minutes. and then after I forget what episode it was, but he truncated down to 90 minutes after removing all the chaff, and he said that
Oh
my
wow,
file had the most editing. So
wow!
yeah,
I would not have expected that. Too
I
interesting.
would not have expected that either. But he removed a lot of the. There's also like lots of delays as we're like, oh, apparently we're doing combat now. Let me quickly, create something because
Yeah.
you guys decided to pick a fight with a freaking shopkeeper.
Hey, that's what we do.
I'm not
That
talking to anybody in
shopkeeper
particular.
picked a fight with me.
All right. Okay. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So anyway, without further ado, Stuart, I would love for you to regale us with the summary of last session's events. I know it's been a little while, um, but I think
Yeah.
I think you have it down, and I'll fill in some gaps afterwards. How's that?
I got very many gaps, and this is again, we're not sponsored by Bad Dragon or Adam and Eve, but I have a lot of gaps, and they need to be filled. I was accosted in a haberdashery of sorts. I was seeking information about an article that was befixed upon me against my will, namely the bracelets that were spying on us, Big Brother, all that. And I was just seeking information, innocent information. Democracy dies in silence. And clearly it was killed that day that I was abducted. But I just wanted to know more about the bracelet on my wrist, and some people didn't want me to know about the bracelet on the wrist. I silently, well, not silently, because I don't think I do anything silently, but I passed out, and that was the last thing I remember. So, hashtag fill my gas.
Stuart, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any details they would like to fill in before I do a little bit more summary? I want to.
There was like an overly aggressive orc, I think, half orc maybe.
I think
bigger than me.
I think he was overly aggressive.
He was
I'll
bigger
second
than
that.
me.
He was much bigger.
I mean, it's okay. It's not saying much, but it's saying some. Bigger. He's big, scary guy.
For the record, everyone, he's like what 3'3".
The average height, all right, of a average height. My average height.
Your average height of a thing. You are a height.
Average. I'm average. That's what? I'm average. That's all we have to focus on. I'm average.
I that is sure.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, Sam's here. Look at that. Let's bring Sam in, and then we'll let's see. Actually, Sam tends to be really good at
they are very good at the
knowing exactly how the
summaries.
summaries work before I even have to fill in gaps, and we're
you know what?
already lollygagging and catching up, and
They'll agree with me. They will
20
agree
minutes
with
into
me.
this.
And we're busy flirting with danger.
It was unfair.
You
All right.
guys were flirting with danger. It was quite the event.
Wait,
We
I
were
don't
edging
remember
danger.
danger. How'd they look?
Always looking good. Always looking good.
That's fair.
Oh, as an aside, chat, since I can't apparently push the buttons that will tell you these things, it's while we're doing our sessions, it's not as easy to track chat. So once we actually get into gameplay, don't be surprised if we're not as responsive to the things you're saying directly in there. So just heads up, before we get into that. Anyway, Sam, hi, how's it going? Long time no see here, chat.
I know. It's like
OG
we haven't played in months or something. I don't know.
That feels like a lie. That feels deceitful.
Years.
That hurts me inside. That hurts me inside for you to bring such slander to the table.
Is it slander or is it
Such accurate slander.
I mean,
Oh, sorry, it's libel. Sorry, it's libel. Sorry.
There we go. If the court reporter.
I'm not wrong, Doug.
But it feels wrong, okay?
You have to accept the truth, Douglas.
You can't handle the truth. I can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. I can. My job is the truth.
Okay, fine. Be that way. We literally just did a recap of everyone's lives up until between last session and now.
Uh-huh.
And then we had just done Stuart's short recap of last session with some added details.
Why did you say it was a short recap?
Because not actually a whole
It was a
lot happened
perfectly
last
regular
session,
height
so...
recap.
It was average. It was very average.
It was an
For a-
average recap. Thank you.
for a Verdan, but sure.
Average.
Forever, damn. I
Uh-huh.
love it.
We were talking
So
about
Sam,
libel earlier. Sorry.
we talked about a bunch of stuff earlier. it went
Uh-huh.
it went places.
Uh,
I don't know if I'm glad or sad that you missed it.
We're
Um,
glad she missed it. We are.
So
We were
Sam,
bad children.
they,
That's all you
they,
need.
my
We were-
pronouns are they.
We were just bad. That's all you need to know.
Oh,
Glad they
I see.
missed it. Glad they missed it.
just you can ignore the beginning of this VOD when just ignore that and then in the future-
Fantastic.
So what is your feeling on Raid Shadow Legends?
I don't have any feelings on Raid Shadow Legends.
And that's as far as I'm going to go, by the way.
That's
Thank
because
you.
Sam plays Genshin Impact.
I do. I play Genshin Impact, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Or what's it? Hanoi Star Rail. Actually, they probably, you know what? That's
Honkai Star Rail. Not really my
Honkai.
thing.
Hanoi. You know what? I'm Hanoid.
No. I happen to like Genshin Impact. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
AR 59, very close to AR 60.
Gotcha.
Doing
got
great.
me. Got you.
I shot an AR-15 the other day.
Oh, really? Did you have fun with that?
Well, yeah, well, you said AR-59, and I don't know what that means, so I only
Adventure
know
rank.
of
It means that I'm obsessed with the game.
Oh,
Actually,
well,
I've got
that
a
checks
healthy
out.
respect for it. I just have played a lot.
That checks out. That checks out. So, besides playing Genshin, any life updates since we last met before Thanksgiving?
Uh, not really. The cat's doing well. Cat, stop. I'm
That's
back to
good.
being
That's
the
good.
only person in my particular profession, so I'm busy. Had an unexpected reunion with a schoolmate today via phone. And I have mastered the art of making chili.
You've mastered it?
That's
Mastered
a bold
it.
statement.
That's
That is a
yeah.
huge
Those
That's a
them
big statement.
I feel
those are
like
fighting words.
No,
Chili
those aren't
cook
fighting
off.
words.
It's
That's just a-
high
that's a big
praise. Okay, you gotta
statement.
understand. I had a lady from the deep south actually say that my chili was pretty darn good.
Oh,
did she
see,
used the words pretty darn good.
Now,
She
when we
said
say deep
that it's
south,
not
do
as
we
good
mean
as hers, but she went back for thirds.
what part of deep south are we talking about here? It makes a difference.
How does it make a difference?
Well, there are some folks that really think they know how to make chili, but they don't.
like Louisiana, it's not chili.
Oh,
It's
no,
not.
no, we're not
It's
talking
not.
like Louisiana deep south. We're talking
There's a
like
whole Twitter thread about this.
If it's Florida, that definitely doesn't count.
what if it's the state above Florida?
South
Georgia?
Georgia.
Yeah.
It's a little east, but yeah, that's all right. We'll accept that.
She went back for
See.
thirds, okay?
Now, if anybody, oh, no, I'm not going to say that because I could hurt people's feelings if I say that. No.
And like the rest of this stream so far hasn't done that.
Okay, if they're from Cincinnati, don't believe a word they say when it comes to chili.
Fuck you. Cincinnati Stilly Child is the best chili.
No,
Don't they put,
no.
like,
Oh,
cheese
oh,
in
yeah.
it?
Any recipe where one of
squeezed
the ingredients
cheese?
is a cup and a half of lard. No.
Oh,
What Cincinnati chili have you had? Lard?
Yeah, there are some recipes.
Yeah.
There's a famous place that makes chili up there, and one of their ingredients is lard. I can't remember the name of it.
It's not Skyline, and they're the big one. They're the big time ones. It's not Skyline.
No, it's one of the others. I can't remember. It's I
Homemade.
so put off by the Cincinnati recipes. I washed it from my memory. I'm sorry.
Shut your mouth, man. No, Cincinnati style is better than Texas chili. That's for sure.
Uh, 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 mm, now,
Dude,
okay.
Texas chili doesn't have beans. Does chili have
Yeah.
beans?
Yes.
Technically, chili does not have
Yes,
beans.
chili
but
has
I
beans.
in it.
Chili does
That's
not
the
have
whole
beans.
thing.
Chili
Beans
has
are an
beans.
add-on.
Thing.
Beans
No.
are an
That's
add-on.
the whole reason we're fighting about it. I'm
Chili
Now,
pretty
has
sure
okay,
that was
beans.
the Civil
here,
War. It was
okay,
about
I'm
beans.
You ready to throw a monkey wrench
Sorry,
into
guys.
everything?
I don't think that I can play D&D with people that think that chili doesn't have beans.
Chili
I'm
has
sorry, Sam.
beans.
It's been nice
I quit.
knowing you because
I quit.
chili doesn't have beans on its own.
Okay,
Sorry.
now here
Oh, they
you
left.
are you ready for the monkey wrench?
Sam
They
actually left.
left.
Oh. All right.
They
Well,
may have been upset
cool.
about other things, but like chili, I mean, it makes sense.
What
Okay.
what about hominy? Have you ever tried that?
Hominy?
That's just corn, dude. It's just
Yeah,
fancy
but-
corn.
I got a recipe from San Antonio that had hominy in it. That was good stuff, my man.
I could imagine. I really could.
And I do agree with putting beans in chili, but I understand that the purists get emotionally distressed over it.
They should. Beans belong in chili.
Oh,
That is.
that's the way I make it. But at the same time, it's sort of like, talking to people about barbecue. I mean, people get very emotional about their barbecue styles.
Barbecue is not a food; it's an event.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Work. Okay.
There's grilled foods and smoked foods, and
And
you
then there's-
serve those
oh.
things at barbecues. But
Breathe.
barbecues are an event, not
Grilled and smoked.
Oh,
So
I
what's
see-
barbecue sauce?
I
Is that
see
just
what you're
sauce that's
saying.
added
You're
in an
dissing
event, or
on
is that a
barbecue.
type of sauce?
It's a genre of sauce. It's a type
So
of
is
condiment.
barbecue a genre of food
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's a-
argue that
Yeah,
It's a
it is.
genre
yeah, it is.
of cooking.
It's a genre
I
of
argue
food.
that it is.
served exclusively at an event?
No.
Or can you get a genre
He's
of
got
food
you in a
outside
corner
an
there,
event?
Doug. He's got you in a corner, Doug.
See, I thought he was saying the barbecue was so good that every time you served it, it was an event. That was the way.
That's what I was thinking too initially.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh,
Like
no,
a
no,
barbecue,
no.
like
Which
a
is
like a-
true. Let's be real.
And by the way, grilled foods are not barbecued foods.
No, grilled foods are
no,
barbecue foods.
no. Barbecued foods have to be prepared low and slow. If you're
Fine,
doing it
go
on
to
the
go
grill,
to
it is not
Chick-fil-A and
barbecue.
No,
order a
that's-
grilled chicken breast. Tell me
Those are
that's
just
barbecue.
varieties of grilled foods.
No. A barbecue is not grilled. If you go all the way back to the Carib barbecue back on the islands,
It's like squares and circles.
pit that was dug lined with
Rectangles.
coals, and then the meat itself was laid into the pit and covered over and cooked at a slow temperature. I mean,
Yeah, my meat in
sorry,
your pit.
sorry, we're going to disagree on barbecue. No.
So
Grilled foods aren't barbecue.
Were we gonna play D&D?
No,
I think that was supposed to be the plan. We were
I
supposed to
thought-
start playing D&D at
I
some point
thought, like for a second,
that we
Okay, who's
might
gonna
play
recap?
some D&D.
but now I'm hungry.
Damn it,
Don't
Stuart.
don't eat any barbecue.
Stuart, you've got like an hour before the break. All right, you've got like an hour. Can we get through an
Okay,
hour
all
of
right, all right,
D&D
yeah,
before
no,
you
no,
go
no,
get
we can
food?
I have my dice and everything. This is not a salt shaker. This is a dice container. We're good. We're fine.
Yeah, man, we just got to get through an hour before we eat.
Are those the taco flavored Doritos? I don't know. I was disillusioned with them. I saw them. I was attracted by the packaging. I like the not authentic, but like the retro colors and like the styling. They just weren't. They're very meh.
Well, honestly, it's something from my childhood because I remember when those originally came out. So
Did not
it's
know they
more
were
of a nostalgia
traditional.
thing for me than anything else.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And yeah, they've got a little bit too much cumin in them and not much of anything else, but I'm okay with that. Okay, recap.
Anyway,
Yeah. Just mute
Before
me,
we get
honestly,
ourselves
at this
distracted
point.
again.
Stuart gave a very brief recap of where things are at. Sam, do you recall last session, and if so, how well? Because you tend to have a very thorough
I
collection
missed
of
the last
details.
session. If you remember, you
That's
told me kind of
right.
what happened.
I
And I
did.
think I joked about, like, see, this is what happens when the voice of reason in the party is not only dead, but the player misses a session.
That is true.
We-
That is a thing.
We had a scribe down.
I haven't been taking notes since Theo died.
We still count on you.
Sam just happens to, log all of it away perfectly in memory. It's kind of terrifying.
I think it's awesome.
I mean that in the best way. Like, just to be instilled, it can be terrifyingly good.
Yeah,
I think
it's great.
Which, yeah.
I
So
appreciate it. I've been that way since I
last,
was a kid. It's why I didn't have many friends growing up.
it's relatable, Sam. We can mourn our lost childhoods at some point. But we have friends now, and we're here to play D&D today, this day, the day of our
I'm
D&D.
excited. I can't wait to spectate. I am eating though, so I will only occasionally chime in. I'm
Okay.
gonna spare you all the sound of me eating food.
So, last session led to some very interesting interactions. While the party had been trying to make their way through the storeroom, where different groups within the foundry come and grab supplies, whether it's to go out mining, whether it's to grab new gloves to go do what have you, they all come through this part of the warehouse, and things are either bought on credit or bought with coin, or with slips that are used for the internal systems that just kind of help keep the foundry running. You had been told that there might be some information that you might be able to get from inside there, and Rittingham decided that the best way of getting information was to be very direct about it, which tends to be eventful when it comes to Rittingham, who just was very forthcoming with what the problem was for the party with their bracelets, and the fact that they're here to figure out what to do with them. The less than helpful attendance of the main counter by the tools led to a bit of a kerfuffle. Jim did some really cool stuff where Bob heated up a bunch of the metal behind the attendees and made it so that when the orcs tried to move back and grab the next tools, it kind of started a whole cascade of pain and agony. And unfortunately, the three combatants who were involved from the party, however, were overpowered by the capacity of the orcs. And so Rittingham did not get any answers to his questions. Ken, standing outside, kind of trying to keep an eye and was kind of wanting to figure out when a good time to interject themselves into the situation, realized that there was not going to be a good opportunity to do that. And so they took the opportunity to slink away from the situation and is currently elsewhere. And so we will have, hopefully next session, we'll be able to circle back to things that are going on with Hen. But tonight we're going to continue with where Bob, Rittingham, and Clore left off. Having been beaten unconscious and then carefully whisked away from the shop floor, the warehouse went back to business as usual relatively quickly, and no real evidence of any guard or other persons of authority showed up post the event. All three of you are still alive. You have not been killed. You are just unconscious. Until you do eventually wake up. Clore, you recognize the smell first. You recognize it almost immediately. and you feel as you kind of come to that your hands are once again bound behind your back. There is a cool mist of water kind of like just in the air. Some of it's kind of getting onto your back. Yes, Jim, this previous conversation does not make this scene all that great. It is what it is. We'll deal with it. Yep, nope.
Yeah, moving on.
And you feel the
I
tension.
I will try to be dignified, and I will concentrate on my NPR voice.
Of the shackles behind you. It's cold. You're getting misted and splashed on by, pretty steady flowing water. And it's pitch black, save for your, your dark vision capacity. Bob Ridingham, this is new to you as you wake up with your, you're basically on the ground, on your side, try to move, and your hands are also bound. You can hear the clanks of metal as you try to pull the shackles that hold you close, and you're shackled to some piping.
Hashtag not sponsored, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
It is also pitch black. I don't know that Ridingham has dark vision. I'm pretty sure Bob does.
Oh,
Or is it the other way around? Yeah,
I'm
not the
pretty
public
sure I
feeds.
do not.
I think I've got dark.
Even though I'm for Dan.
Oh my
I think
God,
that's one of the
it's been-
trade-offs. Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
See, and the thing is, I'm thinking I'm. It's been so long. I'm actually confusing two different characters, so I have to double check.
Jeez.
If
Anyway,
anything,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not a racial trait.
Okay, well that's typically
So,
what it would be. So
That's where it would be. So
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I've got dark vision, 60 feet.
I'm as blind as a human. Ugh.
Ooh, gross.
All right, so Bob and Clore can
Rude.
vaguely see around them. Ridingham, you are completely blind. Pitch black.
However, I've been
Nothing.
told that if you whistle, you can use echolocation.
So a type of whistling. Can I sense anybody around me? Am I alone? I have that I have like telepathy light. So I have diet telepathy.
Give me a
Flavor and
perception.
the calories?
I mean,
It's zero sugar telepathy.
give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Hell yeah, dude. Dice roll perception check. Here we go. You said perception?
Yep, it said perception.
It's a 6.
You try to kind of like shuffle around and see if you can get any evidence of anything, and you can hear the clanking of the metal and feel it.
Trauma.
You find that the floor is really damp and it's like seeping into your clothes and you're cold and you're getting misted on, and it's just really uncomfortable, and you're a little dizzy. But you do hear a little bit of the movement of your compatriots and their other chains kind of clanking.
There's other clanking?
There's other clanking. The problem is you can't
Hmm.
really say anything because you are also gagged.
Mm.
Not that you've actually tried yet that we know of. So
I would like to try to kind of like make noise.
Okay.
I want to make some noise, something guttural. Does it make it past my mouth, or is it just solely the you know what I mean?
I mean, it makes it past you. You just got your wad of something in your mouth, keeping you from being able to articulate words. I know. Jim, you're next. You're supposed to do stuff next. You're all three gagged and bound, and yes, our conversation
We're in the same
earlier.
place. That's exciting.
You are in the
Do
same
I-
place.
Can I see? So I open my eyes. Obviously,
You
I'm
can't
gagged.
see
I'm not
anything.
blindfolded. It's
You
dark.
you have been you've been blindfolded,
dark.
and the
It's
dark.
specifics are that it's a ball gag. Okay.
Mm. So now we're sponsored.
That adds an uncomfortable element to that whole exchange.
Oh, you
Mm.
should have been here earlier. It was so much worse.
I'm almost glad I missed it.
Sam,
You
it
should
was
be-
so much worse.
Oh no.
So,
you listen. It was all a farce. I want you to understand. 100%
100%.
sarcasm.
100% sarcasm.
100%
And we
sarcasm.
we tried to emphasize that it was sarcasm, but boy,
I made
went
the comment
places.
that for legal reasons it was a joke.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You of all people should appreciate that.
No, because there's specific carve outs for things that even if you're saying it's a joke, doesn't qualify as a defense.
That you know what? That's a
We could be in
shortcoming of our
trouble.
judicial system, not necessarily a shortcoming of the individual. Ugh.
You got plenty of
in all
shortcomings,
fairness,
Stuart.
I do
Listen,
understand
I
why
have
that exists.
average comings.
And
All right,
Bob,
they're
Bob, you
average
have some
comings.
shortcomings too.
They're not shortcomings. They're average comings.
You know, whatever you tell yourself to feel better at night, man.
Some people have to sleep. All right, unaided. There's not melatonin. It
Why
doesn't
you
work
put
over
that
the
on
day.
alcohol?
In the mirror.
what is this? What is this stream? What is this podcast? Oh my god!
Yo, this is
I love you
3
guys
months
so
of
much.
Okay, okay.
Understand?
From now on, we can't go 4 months without doing a stream because we obviously forget how to do it.
I know. No, it's okay. It's
I mean,
great.
we're just kind of like winging it, and we're flying into the wall, the window. You know,
Are you sweating while it
we're
happens?
like, yeah. It's like, is this how you? It's not how you do it. Let's try again.
It's hot. It's hot out here.
Dave's over there, just like slowly dying, just completely off camera. Just
I just want to. I have questions, but it actually
so
relates
many
to
dice
Dungeons
I
and
wanna roll.
Dragons, so I just don't. I just gotta wait.
Sorry,
I have so many
Dave.
questions, but I want to disassociate myself. Yet I have questions.
Dave wants to actually play D&D now. So
Too.
I'm sorry, Sam. You'll be joining us soon.
I just want to know like where I can put my health at because my character sheet is currently still in death saves. And like
changed that probably.
Yeah,
everyone should be for the sake of simplicity. Everyone will be at half hit points.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm back to I'm alive again.
Yep, you're coming too. You're coming too. There, Bob.
You know that was a really good question, by the way. Good
I only have
observation.
20 hit points. Well, 10 now, but I only have 20 to start with.
rounding up.
Level
That's
3,
crazy.
right?
We're level 3,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, no. What a world. You know what?
Level 3. Level 3. Level 3.
It's fine. It's fine. You guys are fine.
Would
fine.
you also say in my knocked out stage we completed a short rest?
For the sake of the time that has passed, yes, we will classify this as a short rest.
We're like a long rest though, because it's been a long time.
He's a
mean,
kind and generous DM.
Short rest. What's my?
And I'm not immune to bribes,
D8?
so
I didn't know that. That wasn't in the handbook.
it's definitely been talked about.
Weirdly enough, speaking of 3 months of not knowing what's
I
going
think
on,
it's like an actual rule of D&D that you're supposed to spoil your DM and treat them with kindness and good things. Figure out their favorite snacks, provide those.
What
poisoned?
can I get for a kitty toy?
That doesn't bribe me. That bribes my cat. So
You want your bed back, don't you?
he lets me have some.
Oh, okay. By the way, that actually went into the kitty toy
When was
holder,
I
even though I
poisoned?
didn't look.
Oh my gosh. Say that again, Stuart.
I'm poisoned? Was that? That's when we were climbing up like the scullery chute. Like it was like we were climbing out. I feel like we were climbing through something.
Okay, for future reference, you should.
And I was short.
You should just unpoison yourself, and then if anybody asks later, go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that disappeared when we died and got half our hit points back."
I mean, look, I'm looking at a character sheet that says I'm poisoned. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to resolve
You're not poisoned
everything
anymore. You're not
that
poisoned
was
anymore.
unresolved from the last 90 days. All right.
In my dark vision, can I see anything
There we go.
at
Back on
all
track.
in the
Let's go,
space that we
baby.
are? The space that we are outside of my
So
compatriots.
you look around and you very quickly recognize the sounds, the smells, the vast emptiness of, there's a wall of pipes behind you, the sounds of running water, and there's not much really around you that you can really see. You do know that somewhere ahead, likely of where you guys are, there is some sort of door because people moved through them last time you were down here. But right now you can't see it. So,
Are my shackles magical? You know what? Let's do this. I will cast Misty Step and move to a location that is not in chains.
Imagine I have a movement speed. I would like to move to a position where I have all of the money. Like, just I want to move to a different place.
Misty Step is verbal only.
Yeah, you're gagged, stupid.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, and you're a warlock, so if you get a short rest, you can recover spells.
Yes, that's why.
That makes sense.
But you're
Okay.
gagged. You got to roll to see if you can speak past your gag. How good is your
that's-
tongue?
Yeah, it is true. There is a vocal component. You have
How
to.
good is your tongue?
Is it a
It matters
performance roll?
thematically if you can
No.
make
He's a
your mouth
cunning
move
linguist.
a certain way. Typically, we don't care about components or the verbal and the semantics. Like you got to move your hands, but like right now, it matters for the story. Can you what that mouth do?
So what do I roll?
Stop it.
Hashtag not sponsored.
You have to roll a straight charisma check with disadvantage because you are very gagged.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I like that? Ooh, a disadvantage is still a 16.
Yo,
Nice. Very nice.
hashtag brag about it.
You guys, Stuart, you've just made noise. Rainham just kind of Bob.
Typical.
So far, you haven't described really saying or doing anything, other than just being kind of aware of your surroundings.
That's pretty much what I'm doing right now.
All right, and then you guys managed to hear a very. It takes them a couple of tries. You can hear, the attempt to invoke a spell, and you can hear like he struggles a bit against the but then you hear it close enough to what sounds like a functional spell casting, and Bob, you kind of watch as Clore kind of poofs out of where he is.
Well, that's impressive.
Really quiet.
And the shackles drop to the ground.
Really quiet in Bob's ear, because that's where I teleport to. I just go, don't move, I'll get us out.
You said what?
Get us out.
Oh no, please. I want this to work. Do it again.
One more time.
I said don't
register.
don't move, I'll get us out. That's what I said.
Okay. Not moving. This I want to see. I'm impressed so far. Let's see what else you got.
I don't know what I have to do to try and pick his lock. What do I roll? I'm just gonna try and pick it regularly. I'm not proficient with anything, so.
Okay, so then it's just a sleight of hand check.
Sick.
Oh, you don't have luck. You don't have tools for that. So.
Oh,
Cool.
hey,
Now-
do we? I guess I'll remove the gags from the other two.
Well, you have to have the
just
tool
from Bob.
proficiency. So never mind. You're right. It's just disadvantage on it basically.
Okay, dude.
Well, I mean, without disadvantage, I rolled a 5. So let's see with disadvantage. Yeah, so a 5.
All right.
I'll take Bob's gag out. I tried to get Rinningham's, but the ball gag was too tight, so I just left it.
That's why I like her.
Bob, what can you do to get out of here? I can't get your lock.
All right, give me a second. Let me think about it. I got to come up with something creative because I don't have anything on hand that's going to help out. Ooh, yes, I do.
Can you turn into any
That's
other animal?
exactly what's going to happen. So my inclination is to go with a cat, but maybe a rat would fit into this environment a little bit better. So let's see. Let's do a rat. Ratatouille.
Yo, with the rolled R, you Spanish rat, dude?
It's a Spanish rat. Spanish.
That was a German rat.
Damn, my rats are all over Europe.
So
yeah, a German.
The
rat.
last time that happened, bad things occurred.
Yeah, that's what I was actually trying to lead to.
There's a whole
but,
song about it, you know? Ring around the rosy.
Yeah.
Pockets full of posy, dude. Ashes. Ashes.
Yeah, but my
this
my
is about the Black Death.
Darn Skippy. All right, so I'm going into rat mode.
as you try to go into
You
rat
should run
mode,
for office. Sorry.
your shackles begin to glow, and you can't change.
I'm sorry, my what is glowing?
Your shackles begin to glow, and you can't change.
Anti-magic shackles? This
Chlor, give me an investigation check.
Yes. Oh, I'm super, super average at these. Doesn't matter, 18.
You look down at Bob's shackles, and then you also notice with Rinningham's, and then you look at yours. There are only 3 spots for prisoners. There are 2 sets of magical shackles. Your set was not magical.
Well,
if you recall, when you were down here last time, you managed to break something.
Oh.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's right. I did break the magical ones. Gosh, I'm so okay. Let's see what I can do.
I'm offended. My feelings are hurt.
Why?
They took away my ability to turn into a rat.
I'm offended because they just assumed that I was so weak that I didn't need magical shackles.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You have the right to be more offended than I do. Would you like to go talk to the manager?
He's not a Karen rat.
We are only at half health, so I really can't do that again. Let's see. I will go and lumber over to Rittingham and take his gag out of his mouth.
You know, sometimes too tight is too tight. The tongue was back in the back.
And I put the gag back on Rinningham's mouth.
I was expecting that. I really was. I was waiting to see.
We're looking for solutions here, Rittingham. And I remove the gag.
Well, again, too tight. The tongue has to have freedom to work around the ball gag.
Okay, what ideas you got? Can you get out of here?
Well, clearly there has to be some form of egress and ingress. Otherwise, this building would not have made it up to code.
I meant the shackles.
Oh, I thought you liked the shackles.
All right, ball gag goes back in the mouth, and then I start beating. I start beating his shackles to see if I can break them physically.
Shackles. You start beating the shackles. Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's take my my long sword. I will.
Ooh.
bonus action, summon my packed weapon, longsword, and I will
Yeah, and
right.
do I still have my my fancy gloves, or were those taken from me?
Uh,
Mm.
you realize you don't have your pack. There's no
Sad.
good reason for you to have your pack if you are,
But if I was already wearing them when I was accosted,
which you were not because you just moved up your sleeve and
probably not.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, damn.
Briefly, may I mind if I do an acrobatics check to do one of those little kind of shimmy things where you move your bound hands from behind you past your feet to your
Mm,
front?
a shimmy, shimmy,
Uh,
ya, shimmy, yo, shimmy, yay.
you are kind of against a wall,
Son of
and
a,
that's where they're bound to. So you're kind of attached. You're
I
stationary. You're
kind
not
of
just
just,
yeah. So you
uh,
you can, but it'll just put you where your head's at your feet.
it'll just be a pointless endeavor.
Wait a minute.
You
Wait a minute. Can I walk over by where the exit potentially could be and just see if the keys are hanging on the wall?
you can do that.
I would like to do that. I feel like why would they take them with them? We're bound, and they don't. Are they going to carry around extra keys all over the
Open
place?
your eyes.
So I will search for other means of unlocking these shackles.
Okay.
I've named mine Shackleton.
Hmm.
I
It's
expect nothing
Shackleford.
different.
Ooh, Shackleford and Shackleton. That
Is
sounds
there
good.
any reason why I would have advantage on this? Dark vision?
That just allows you to do it without disadvantage, basically.
So there's no way for me to get rid of this 4 that I just rolled.
Unfortunately, not.
Fair
As
enough.
you kind of look around and try to, find where the door is and everything else, you have a general idea of where it is, but you're realizing that it may be something that's kind of like embedded into the wall because you're fairly certain that when you got up last time, you were able to kind of go the direction they went, and the door was basically straight ahead, and you're at where it is straight ahead, and there is no door.
Mm. Uh, Bob, do you have any way to heal yourself?
Yes. Yes. I can do that, but it would be magic. And since my last attempt at magic failed, I'm hesitant to try. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling surprisingly good, all things considered. After taking a harsh ass beating, I feel really good.
Okay, I could try and break your shackles the way that I broke mine, but it would hurt you significantly
Do
if
it.
successful.
I think it's worth a try. Let's go for it. Do you need me to do anything?
Um, yeah, stay alive.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
very, very still.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah. Is there a way that? Okay, so I think if I actually cast this on you, there might be a way you can give me advantage because you don't resist the quote unquote attack.
That's I can
No, it's a Constitution save. Just kidding. All right. Well,
well, I can willingly fail my Constitution save. So
no, I think you would want to pass the Constitution save, and then hopefully the shackles fail. I think is.
Oh,
what we're
okay,
doing.
okay.
So I will
understand.
cast Shatter on. And how close is he to Renningham?
Close enough.
Oh,
Is there going to be any shrapnel?
uh, I guess I'll cast it. So are their hands 10 feet away from each other?
They're
I do have a very large wing. Being someone who is aggressively
Average build.
tall, well, average. I'd say aggressively average. My wingspan is probably more than nothing.
It's a
Are
good
there
solid
are
3
there
feet.
shackles within 10 feet of each other? If there's a way
Yes.
I can get both in
They're
there,
yes, they're within 10 feet of each other. You guys are
Oh,
basically
all right.
shackled kind of side by side. But but you're without your pack, without your stuff. So there's enough space behind, 5 foot squares. It's really about 5 feet between each person. So
I will
2
move 10,
5 foot
10
squares.
feet away from them so that I don't get caught in this. And then I will cast Shatter in the central location where it gets both of their shackles.
Okay.
It is a Constitution save of 13.
Okay. Well,
Sorry, how much? What was the number? 13?
13.
Constitution? Okay.
You all right? You all right there? You all right there, Stuart?
I mean, we're rolling for this so I don't die, right? That's
It's a save.
being someone of such a stout constitution. I have an 8.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Bob.
I have 10
I'll pull
health.
down to 21.
Hopefully it doesn't kill me.
Well, we have Bob. If Bob can pass, so hopefully he can heal you because this will most definitely put you below 10 hit points.
Well, we'll see.
I'll break out the healing kit.
All right.
I got some
guess,
icy hot. It cures everything.
I guess I'll roll damage. Doug, is that?
Yep. Roll some damage.
Did it at least get the shackles?
I mean, it definitely. I mean,
Not
they
if
don't-
they're the
Oh,
high
I
quality
rolled
produced
low.
by adamandeve.com. They have many
13.
different kinds of shackles, cuffs, any kind of binding equipment you would want. Silk, some
The
kind of
flat
composite
silk rope, it
fabric
doesn't
material.
13 shatter damage.
Damn it, man. That's more than I have.
And I think Bob takes half.
I'm in death saves.
Okay.
Or
half-
it's thunder damage. Yeah, it's half. So that
Okay.
would be 6.
So would be 6 or would it be 7? Do we round up or down?
Down, I
down.
think.
It's
Oh,
down.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Round down.
Yes. So
I'm dying.
Well, now hang on. Since I was expecting this to happen because I'd been warned that my compatriot may be wounded in this endeavor, I am
Prepared in
psychologically and emotionally prepared to deliver aid immediately.
Yeah, dude. I'm saying.
I like to think that I was kind of warned in advance.
yeah, did they break the shackles?
Yes. So you watch as the magic on the shackles kind of glows and fizzles. It's not really designed to take that sort of energy from the outside. And so they are now relatively brittle, and you're able to just kind of like pound on them, and they just kind of break. Not terribly dissimilar to the force you were exerting when you broke them last time.
Yeah. Hey Bob, Runningham is
Oh,
struggling.
if I'm free, I'm ready to go.
I'm still gagged, right?
He's gone quiet. That's not a good sign.
I'm coughing past
we
the
sure?
gag.
Well, it's good for us, All right, so I move over to Renningham, and we're just going to do a little healing hands action. That's going to restore 3 points immediately, and we check for a pulse. I think we got a pulse.
I think he's awake. Just take the gag out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, that would be better. Yeah, let's do that.
How many points was that?
That was 3.
3.
A
Yeah, look at
whopping
you.
3 health right now.
A
That's
whopping
great.
3 health.
All right. Well, cool. You're healthier than I am. That's shizzalicious.
So waking up and there was a brief moment. It was everything went darker than it was, and my hands, they're free now, but they feel like they weren't there before. What's going on?
Okay, Mister, just stand still for a second. You ready?
Ah,
He can't see you, so he can't really anticipate
ready. I'm ready for whatever happened. I thought I was
10
ready for
points
that.
of healing. You
Ooh.
feel so much better.
It's almost like when you have those dreams in the middle of the night and they're conspicuously in lavatories, and there's that relaxation that you feel. Everything's warm, everything's comfortable, and there's just like a sensation that's leaving your body. And then you wake up and you feel just great. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you were going to feel a little damp.
Well, I mean, warm though.
Okay. Okay.
And relieved.
I'm also
Very
I'm
relieved.
Very relieved. Oh my gosh. The
I
cessation of pressure in your midsection,
gone.
unparalleled.
I'm going to cast a little healing on myself also.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a good idea.
Healing on the ears.
DM,
Um,
can I
yes.
peer closely at their now unshackled wrists, and do I see a magical bracelet still on said wrists? I think I may have potentially broken those.
You don't see them.
Uh, is that because they're not there or because it's too dark?
That's because they are not there.
Whoa.
Well, Rinningham's is not on his wrist. Bob's was on his ankle, if I remember correctly.
Yep, on the ankle.
Okay.
So you're looking at
What's
their
the
wrists.
bracelet
You don't
on?
see bracelets.
Should
Where
he be
was it?
looking somewhere else?
Where was Rinningham's?
The
Rinningham's was
world
on his
may
wrist. That's what
never
I'm saying.
know.
Bob's was the one on his ankle. You knew Rinningham's
But-
was on his wrist. That's what you showed it to the world.
But his is gone.
His is gone.
Okay.
What you looking for?
I think I broke Rinningham's bracelet, and I think we are in the clear. Bob,
Sounds
yours isn't on either, so I think we're good.
Well,
Do I see one?
you do not.
Hey, cool. It's good. Problem solved. All we had to do is get into a bad fight with a really big, mean orc. Half-orc.
Maybe we should thank
go
our
out
lucky
here?
stars later after we get out of here.
Yep.
Conveniently, I've been here before, so
Do you happen to conveniently remember the way out?
I remember the way that I went and then saw my friend die because the whole tunnel was on fire. That might not be the way we want to go again because it took us literal days to get out of here. So let's try and go out the way they brought us.
Okay. You know the area and the risks and dangers. You lead. I'll trust you.
I have no idea how to get out of this room.
You
still have my
have
ball
previous
gag?
experience. I will trust you. You lead.
Okay, as leader, I'm designating both of you to find the way out of this room.
Delegation. Do I still have my ball gag?
No, your gag is not in your mouth.
All right, so I'm gonna cast guidance.
To help
Um,
give you a bit of a
I'm
buck.
touching our industrious leader. So my hands, now freed, have wandered in the dark because I still can't see, and they've brushed Clore. And I bestow upon him a D4 so that he can roll an ability check, like maybe perception or investigation, find our way out of this. He feels a tingle.
So, Clore, do you watch as Rinningham, flails about trying to find someone to touch at, waist height? Or
Yeah,
do you
so I see that happening, and I just guide his hand to Bob's thigh and allow him to give guidance to Bob.
We confer. It's like a telephone game of guidance where we all touch each other. It's not in the dark. We're not spinning a bottle,
But it is dark.
but it is.
And we
but
are
it is-
touching.
and we are. I mean, I'm spinning at this point.
So, I mean, here's the problem. I've already looked for an exit. I rolled a 4. I'm not gonna be able to do it again. So I need someone else to look for an exit.
I mean, we can fumble around in the dark.
Yes, but Bob
Believe
has
me.
dark vision. Bob, would you
Oh.
please look for
Yeah.
an exit?
Look
Yeah,
around,
okay.
dude.
Okay, so perception check, is that what I'm thinking?
I-
what I'm
Perception
thinking. Am
or
I thinking-
investigation.
Is
I mean,
there
it's
a way to lighten this place up at all?
I've
Light it
used
up,
my only 2 spells slots
Well,
to get us out.
we hadn't I hadn't thought about that yet, but yeah, we can actually lighten this place up.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, spooky ghost makes a suggestion.
Should you
Possibly
use
lighten
your
the environment.
spell?
Ooh, it's the guidance from beyond.
It's funny because I was just
Right.
waiting to see when they would figure out, like, oh yeah, duh, we have spells to do that. I was just gonna wait and see what happens. Like,
I have no more spell
Sorry, Doug, I
slots.
couldn't tolerate
You know,
any more fancy putting around and like
Prestidigitation is
Some of us were
only
just
each other
enjoying
at
the
a single
darkness.
burst. All right, it's
That's what I was doing.
illusionary. It doesn't last very long. Anything, I would just flashbang everybody. You know, they'd get that little like dark spot in their vision. It wouldn't help.
Investigation, right?
yes,
Okay.
or
so
perception, depending on the nuances of what you're trying to do. Are you scoping it out from where you are, or are you actually like moving along and trying to see what you can see? There's semantic differences, and so that's why I'm curious as to.
Yeah.
Chlor went up to it. That's why it was an investigation check. He was like, the door should be here, and so that's why I'm asking.
I was just going to get up and move and not like actually touch anything because I'm concerned about traps and things and just visually looking. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Okay. So perception check
Okay.
in the
That's
deep down dark.
that's a
deep
22
down.
on perception.
Hot diggity.
Very nice.
And-
All right.
All right. Now, before we go any further, since I feel like I've had this divine inspiration to have mercy upon my blinded and handicapped compatriots, and maybe I should bring some light into this dark little world. Let me see what I can do about that. Let's see. Oh, look, there's a cantrip called Light. I think I will cast that.
So what do
Cast
you
it
cast it on?
upon.
Yeah.
Oh, cast it. Rinningham.
Oh. On his nose, Rudolph.
Oh, I love that idea so much, but the DM won't let me do it. The time I tried to cast it on somebody's eyeballs, he's like, "No, you can't do that." It's like, come on.
Do you think
I-
it would help them if their eyes were the sources of light?
It would blind them 100%. That was the whole idea. So anyway, choose what you would like to carry before you, Sir Renningham.
It would need to be something very big. Something that protrudes from my body. Something
No, you are not allowed to
would
say
provide light.
the sponsor at this point. You've got to wait till later.
My nose, dude. I got a big nose. Schnoz out in front. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't do that.
It has to be cast on an object, not a creature.
Oh.
Our
Well,
DM has already said
okay.
no.
I have a kazoo.
Dude, that's it. In the name of Saint George and Saint Michael and the dragons above, you are now Sir Renningham of the glowing kazoo.
A dragon slayer, a guy who canonically tosses down the serpent, and the dragons above. Okay.
It's a call
Stuart,
back
are
to
you
our
actually
sponsors.
Stuart? Are you actually playing the kazoo?
Yeah, I have a kazoo.
Well, were you playing it because your mic wasn't picking it up? Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, we
Did
can't
you
hear
guys?
you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? My mic's too smart. It doesn't want to hear what I have to play.
Same.
It's
Different,
Just
but same.
imagine, just imagine something illuminating.
Yeah. All right. Now that we've done that, let's move
Everybody
forward and
gets
see if we can find a
inspiration.
way out.
All right, so Bob, as you make your way around the room, you can see lightly etched into the wall similar markings to when you were going through some of the other areas of the caverns leading up to your meetup with Clore earlier, where you found magic, gnomish technology that had been embedded and turned, and these markings are familiar in that fashion. However, you don't see any real mechanism from this side to open. However, this section of otherwise smooth stone may open and close.
So I believe that there is a door, but I believe that I don't know how to open it.
Correct. Rinningham, now that you can see the space around you, it's mostly just a place filled with pipes. There's leaking and running water. Up high above, beyond where the light goes, it appears to be where a lot of the mist is raining down from. And that's also seems to be the direction that the sound of running water comes from.
So what I would like to do.
Also in the light, there is a pair of broken shackles
Okay.
off to the
And
side.
Shackles, schmackles.
What does the ceiling look like?
You can't see it.
It's so far up we can't see the ceiling.
Beyond your dark vision
We're-
range, yeah. And
we
beyond
are
the light.
we are in a prison
provides.
cathedral.
But I see pipes that I can assume have running water because there is leaking water from those pipes.
Yes. There are leaky
All right,
pipes.
so I'm going to cast heat metal on those pipes,
Someone's getting a warm bath.
assuming that it heats the metal up to a degree with which I can take the shackles. And like, you know how in the movies when there's a cable and a homeboy throws his belt and he slides down, completely unrealistic like?
Yeah.
I want to heat the pipe and then throw the shackles and yank the pipe so that it deforms and potentially breaks said running water pipe.
Cool. It's a swimming pool.
Okay. So you just start doing it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any okay. So yeah, you start casting heat metal.
Mm-hmm.
Rinningham, what's
And-
the plan here, dude?
If listen, how many times have you wanted to take a shower or suddenly your water bill goes up? I'm playing the long game. Nobody's looking for us. The best thing we can do at this point is cause a disturbance, a ruckus. The more attention we get to where we are, the more people will be looking for us and trying to figure out why does my water pressure suddenly drop to 0? I got dishes. I got laundry. I flush a toilet at some.
I got all these diapers here. Come on.
Rinningham, roll me some percentile dice.
Sometimes.
Hmm.
And we're looking at a 95. Big
Holy
boy.
shit.
Big
Okay.
boy percentile.
So
With ease, style, and flourish.
with a surprising amount of luck, you start heating up a pipe, and as it does, you're quickly able to start seeing sections that you didn't notice that were leaking before because it was just a constant stream. And you notice it because as the metal heats up and turns, starts to change color, and steam starts to spurt out of them instead of water trickling out. And so you can see that this section of pipe has several such points that are weakened and possibly rusted. And the pressure, you can actually kind of feel almost like tension against the magic that you're casting as the pressure slowly kind of begins to build in that pipe as you can see further and further up, or even hear the difference as steam starts to jet out of some of these gaps. The other component here is you manage to not have that hot steam blown directly in your face as you do this. But the metal is slowly heating up. The constant flow of water is definitely fighting against you, and you hear even like a groaning of some of the metal as you are adding a change to the system. A pretty substantial change considering it was nice cold water before. And the spell allows you to heat it to a cherry red.
With lack of any other plans, can I cast Eldritch Blast at heated metal and attempt to help break heated metal?
You can. Go for it.
Are we having
Roll-
difficulty breaking the metal? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, it's a 7, so I'm just shooting things.
Well, it's a stationary inanimate object, so at the very least you get advantage on it.
If we were in the Old West, we would say you got the drop on it.
And that's a natural 20 for 25.
Yo.
Do some damage, boy.
Let's see here. That's a 10 double.
It's a spell, so you don't really double spells on crits.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I wish. It'd be great, but you don't, especially because it's a cantrip.
Well, so
Yeah,
it's
you'd
10
think
points.
cantrips would, yeah. So the force damage from your Eldritch Blast pounds straight into the soft spot on the pipe, and it crunches. And the metal continues to heat up, but now the sound has changed as the steam starts to slow down above. And Stuart, you can kind of see where the pipe underneath the pinch that you have heated up is starting to kind of expand. It's starting to like bubble up. It's almost like it steams and stretches the metal, and then it cools, and then it heats up again, cools and heats up, and it's slowly growing with steam. Now that there's a big pinch in the pipe.
It's gonna blow.
Maybe we should
Do you-
like put distance between us and it.
Do you maintain the spell? Do you keep going at it there, Rittingham?
No, I definitely noticed that it's about to blow, and I move away.
All right. As you guys back away, do you maintain the spell or do you drop the spell? You don't actually have to be touching the metal to cast the spell. So.
I dropped the spell.
Okay.
You're gonna drop it like it's hot?
Yes.
The cherry red goes away almost immediately, and the steam above kind of sputters and then goes away, and then it's like a couple seconds later that the groaning of the metal begins to kind of turn into a shake as the pipe begins to kind of like crunch. You don't see it, but you can hear it, and something is definitely off because now there's water starting to spurt out the cracks that were above where the bend is. And you can see that the metal that is thinned has continued to slowly expand as you are getting ready to see the pipe burst. Yes,
Just for clarification, in my imagination, this was automatically copper. Is it like copper or some other kind of metal?
It's kind of hard to
I mean,
tell.
it's
There's
just-
enough water
okay.
flowing and nasty kind of just to cover it, but you want for your own personal understanding.
Yeah, it's just in my imagination.
It's relatively thick. It looks like it's metal or it's like iron. It's
Okay,
or steel.
cool.
Sorry,
Okay.
more specifically. Yeah, it's
It's a lot less steampunk.
unfortunately, yeah. This was
Okay.
a little closer to diesel punk, where it's just steel and iron and grime everywhere.
Gotcha. It's more Bioshock, less Steam Boy.
Also for the sake of the type of pipe that is, the flowing water and the type of expansion that would have been required if it was a copper pipe, it would have blown like that, and it wasn't going to be nearly as dramatic. So
Okay, cool. Just making sure my imagination's correct.
Yeah, no. It's for the drama, for the oopla. All right.
The housewives of dungeon piping, or what was it? The dungeon plumbers housewives. Is that the episode?
Yes, the Dungeon Plumbers
Dungeon
Housewives. Yep.
piping is a different. We're not sponsored.
Hey, wait a minute. Do you remember when? Yeah, have you ever been on a trip to Japan and you pulled out your computer and went to Netflix and you wanted to watch the rest of that show, but you couldn't? Oh, wait, sorry. Please continue. We're not Surfshark has nothing to do with
Hashtag
this.
no spawn.
Hashtag
Okay.
not sponsored, but we're looking. If we
Yeah.
can play more often, we will happily take it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the requirement there.
I know. And that
Is
requires.
this our audition night? Are we auditioning for
I
like?
hope not.
After 26 episodes of this, tonight included, I feel like we've done a lot of auditioning.
Yeah, but we didn't actually try to sell stuff in any of the others.
I mean,
Tonight we're
kind of
poking fun at the.
we
at the-
really are, which actually, if we're poking fun at people who would be the most likely to give us a sponsorship,
Oh
that gets a
damn,
little
we're
weird.
dumbasses, aren't we?
Nah,
We're-
they'll give. See, they'll recognize the
The
kuspa.
intention.
We were talking about it earlier. It's a kuspa.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. Please continue.
The pipe continues to groan and expand, and you watch as other pipes, the pressure begins to change, and some of them start spraying a little bit as well. As the bulb that had continued to grow out of the metal finally does split and rupture, and it spills out a bunch of water at first, and now it's just a pretty constant stream, like a fast-running faucet.
I guess now would be a good time to ask, do you think this room is watertight?
No.
Probably not.
Okay.
So now it's hitting the pipe stuff above it, no longer taking pressure, and the water is now just kind of spraying out into the room in your direction, guys.
Cool.
We've made
Well,
progress.
Did that do what you wanted to do, running in?
Yeah, I feel kind of stinky. Like we need some airflow down here. I feel kind of musty.
We could just find a way out.
Well, look around then.
I've been looking. I hadn't found anything.
Well,
There's no
As-
doors.
as
Well,
as
there-
Renningham says, we'll look around. Then you hear a sliding of stone on stone from behind you,
we all turn and look in amazement.
as there are three red-headed individuals standing in the doorway.
Eldridge
And-
Blast.
Clore, you notice that one of them seems to have a bit of a deformity on the side of their face that
Looks familiar.
looks familiar to just to Clore.
Eldridge Blast. Don't let him leave.
And we are going to take a break right here for quick 15-minute break. We're gonna pause here. People can now go get the snacks that they want, replenish on drinks, and we'll be back in like 15 minutes because we've done a
That's
lot of
15
talking.
minutes
up
of
till now,
shopping
and I
time,
need to-
guys.
Yeah, 15 minutes of shopping time for none of those places because we are not sponsored.
And if you
Don't go there.
really want some quality raid gear, check out Raid Shadow Legend. Okay.
Okay. On that sobering note, we're gonna go on a break, and we'll be back. We'll be right back after these. Actually, we're not running ads either, so it's not even like these short
Oh,
messages.
man.
We're not even- I know, like it's nothing. It's just
Missing out on
it's just-
opportunities here, dude.
It's for free, honestly. Honestly.
yeah. This
Do it
is
for the
purely
love.
free
It's all-
content right
it
now.
is.
Well,
Love
Yeah,
of the game.
it's free.
anyway,
we got nothing
see you
better
guys.
to do.
See you guys in like 15 minutes.
are. They are indeed.
All right, so apparently we all have ADHD here, and let me tell you, a 15-minute break turns into a 20-something minute break when suddenly you're talking about, the conspiracies behind the big pharma multivitamins and, other things that we definitely should turn into its own podcast at some point. When
Ramen
we all have
recipes.
even more time to do that. Oh yes, chili recipes. How Texas chili is wrong. Cincinnati chili is prime. Yeah. Good stuff.
That was not the conversation.
And apparently we need to get more sponsors that are conspiratorial in nature. So
We're going for
Yeah.
the big bucks.
Yep.
Yeah, stupidity pays.
I like
That it
big bucks,
does.
and I cannot lie, dude.
Because our conservative conspiracy theory sponsors.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's brilliant. Everybody goes for like mainstream sponsors. We need to go for like the fringy, edgy conspiracy sponsors. That's what we're doing wrong.
Put up an
So it's
ad
funny you
in the
mentioned
Epic
that.
Times. There you go.
Funny you mentioned that. Natty had actually made a joke about that earlier when we were talking about other random ass stuff. And
Oh,
it
really?
was-
I missed
Yep,
that.
it wasn't a good moment to like tie it in. But
okay.
they actually made that exact sort of joke of like, yeah, just go find all of that. Like, go for it.
Oh, dang it. I missed it. I'm sorry. I
You
feel
know,
like
do
I
you
feel
want
so negligent.
do you want a wrist bracelet that, like grounds you so that, the 5G waves, don't turn you into a goldfish or whatever,
Hey, I live in Arkansas. There are quartz crystals laying on the ground in the backyard. We can like sell that crap as merch.
Well, wait a second. That the quartz crystals, that's apolitical. Those are on both sides.
Oh,
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. They are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and don't call potential merch crap on the
my
podcast.
bad. My bad. We'll have to edit that out. I'm sorry.
This whole thing is just chaos incarnate. I'm here for it. But I've
The
missed it
very
so much.
core of D&D, Doug. It's the very core
It
of
is.
D&D.
It's herding cats. That's really the the core of D&D.
There's a
Uh,
reason for the season.
Oh, yeah. He's not really in a good spot for me to scoop him up, but a certain fluffy creature is like just off camera.
Aw, a baby.
Anyway, where we last left off, the stone door, had finally begun to open, and three redheaded individuals were kind of like peeking through as the door opened. Familiar redheaded individuals. And then the first thing that happened was that Dave threw an Eldritch Blast.
Do their bagpipes have 12 notes or 10 notes?
15 big pipes.
Okay.
Those they got a set of pipes, let me tell you. Also, there's pipes behind you on the wall and the pipes and
Exploded pipes.
There's a lot more than 15 pipes there.
Okay.
These I was trying to figure out a way to make a lace and pipe joke and it just didn't work. But anyway.
But this week's sponsor. Oh, no, sorry.
Jim's Plumbing.
Not sponsored.
All right, Chlor, you decided to just throw an Eldritch Blast at the first people that you saw in the doorway.
Yeah, no one down here has been nice to me, except for the two people that are currently in the room with me. So
You're assuming that these folks are people.
Only people that were wearing ball gags are nice to me.
correlation or causation?
Who's to say?
Yes. So if that is all right with you,
It's fine with me. Shoot first, ask questions later. Go for it. Roll to hit. Which one are you aiming at? There's three of them. Two that look normal and one that has a deformity kind of on their face.
Aim for the weirdo.
Deformity guy.
Okay, roll to hit.
15.
All right, roll damage.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes, kids, it does not pay to stand out.
Eat it. Oh, 5 damage.
So the door opens. The three individuals look into the room and kind of look confused as the one just suddenly takes a Eldritch Blast to the face. And as it does, you actually see a good chunk of the deformed structure kind of break off. And underneath is the flesh doesn't look 100% right. It's still red, but it's not bleeding very much. It's very slow. And the pieces of it just kind of like clank to the floor. They don't really spray much of anything. And he touches it, and you can see there's not a whole lot, like even like on his hands, and what it is there. It's like it's not like running or anything else like that. And you can see that there's no eye there anymore. Not that there was much there, because that's kind of where the deformity had started on his face, but it's not bleeding a whole heck of a lot, and they don't seem to react in a way that's like threatening per se. They just kind of like, why are we being shot at is more of the reaction, including the guy who's just like trying to figure out what just hit him in the face.
Does he happen to say, "I'll be back"?
Not yet. It's not actually their turn, because you guys kind of hit them technically with a surprise round. So
Okay.
Rinningham,
I'll
is there
ask later.
Don't move. Don't move.
Rinningham, do you do anything?
Yeah, I see dude with like weird face, and I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers.
Ooh.
How many spell slots do you have left after that combat?
Which combat?
The one with the orcs. Did you not cast any spells when you were doing that?
Nah, dude. Like I said, I should have cast more spells. I should have caused
That's
this.
yeah. You could have. Okay. Well, yeah, you can cast some Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah, so Dissonant Whispers. I mean, this is just a whole thing. Here. Come on, baby. Well, I don't think it takes anything. Oh, it's a save. It's a wisdom 15 save.
Yeah. So you don't have to roll to hit. You just roll
no,
damage.
I don't. Yeah, no. Well, yeah. Well, the target. Yeah.
So he does
That's
fail.
15. All right. So he takes 3d6. That's a 3. That's a 1. That's a 3. So a total of 7 damage. And he hears just a concordance of whispers saying, "Oh, your face. What happened to your face? You don't even have an eye anymore. It's so gross. It's like really raw and red. Ew, that's disgusting."
Ouch.
As the
It's
person
damage.
just
It's
starts
damaging.
to
I'm
kinda
sorry.
take you can kind of see him start to react to the dissonant whispers. How much damage did you say you rolled?
It 7 damage, and he must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. Which also, children tuning in, a helpful remediation technique if someone is bullying you, to just remove yourself from the situation. Say, you know what? You clearly have damage. I respect that, and I understand that you are coming from a place of pain and hurt. I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And he runs away as fast as he can.
Life advice with Stuart. So
Like
as
Forrest
he
Gump being told to run home.
But also, you could just not be a little bitch. But
there it is. There
we go. Just making
All
sure.
right.
Making sure we're keeping up. Making sure we're keeping up with the times.
Oh my gosh. All right. So you watch as he begins to kind of react, and you hear back in your head, I didn't mean it to do this, happen this way. I didn't mean it to happen this way. I didn't mean it to happen this way. I didn't mean it to happen this way. But it's happening in the same sense and same cadence and same rapid nature as when you interacted with some of the other
Mushroom.
fungal, entities.
Husky boys.
I didn't mean to happen this way. I didn't mean to happen this way. And you see as he turns, not that because it's a surprise round, he doesn't really get much in terms of like reaction. Well, he doesn't get a turn, so I guess technically he could still take a reaction, but not like he's gonna move as a reaction. Anyway, he's definitely not pleased as he's just kind of like, and you hear it back echoing in your head loudly. Didn't mean to happen this way. Didn't mean to happen this way. Jim,
Yo,
what's Bob doing? What's Bob? You just watch as Eldritch Blast goes off. The guy who got hit is now like even shaking his head even more, just kind of like trying to shake off something.
Yeah, and you turn and you see Rittingham also kind of like, no, this isn't great. I don't like this. I don't like what's happening.
I am thoroughly confused. Okay. Quick recap. My experiences with the redheaded folks. These were the same people that were in the alley, weren't they?
Yes. So your first experience with them was in the alley back in the city, and
I think we can characterize that as a negative experience.
Correct. And then you met up with another one in the foundry when Rittingham managed to like nat 20 with a rock and like deck one in the face.
Yeah. So
and you were going to go and try to question that one before you had to go on your rescue mission.
Right.
It's part of what prompted your venturing into the forges. Cat treats. Nice.
Let's see. I'm not sure what to do, so I'm going to freeze in inaction for a moment. Next turn.
Okay. Then they get to go. The one who got hit, he just kind of like takes a half step back and then just kind of like briskly, but not like running, turns and starts walking away. The other two just kind of like look at each other and look at you guys, and they're like taking a couple steps back, and like you watch as the doors begin to close again. You guys have enough time for a reaction before the doors just shut all the way.
I'm gonna
How far
cast
away?
mage. Ooh.
Am I close enough to rush to the door to try to keep it from closing?
It would be full round of movement to be able to go and try to wedge your way in the door, but
Yes.
if that's what you want to do, okay. So it's just beyond 30 feet from you. You go and get yourself kind of wedged in, and the stone continues to kind of like slide together. It doesn't seem to really.
And it starts to hurt, doesn't it?
It's definitely not comfortable yet. You've definitely got only a few more seconds of before it becomes very painful.
Am I far enough in to where I get to decide which direction I go out?
You are.
I go to the outside.
Okay. So you're kind of like pushing up against it, and it's just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Floor.
Yeah, that's right. Your scummy friend just walked out.
Yeah, I mean,
Left you there.
if there's time, I'm going to also try and run through the door.
All right. It continues to slowly close, and you're able to like get on through, kind of barely. And as you're turning around, getting through the door, the other two guys are like kind of there out there in the hallway, and they're just kind of like staring at you guys, like, what? They're kind of not sure what exactly is happening here. They still have not taken up fists or anything to fight back. Rittingham, the door is closing.
Yeah, I'm casting Mage Hand to like just stick the hand itself in betwixt
So they're
the
closing
door
this way.
Okay, so in the middle of it, I'm keeping the door from closing. Just sticking the hand there, holding it. I don't
Okay,
want the door to
so-
close.
Just okay. So you cast Mage Hand and throw that out there, and you watch as it tries to push against the door, and you then remember that Mage Hand only has enough force to push back about like 10 feet or 10 pounds of force or so.
You know,
After watching Bob, try to use his body to do the same thing, and
Bob's weak though. Like
Failing
I
to
have a
do so.
strong mage hand. I like to keep a mage hand strong. You know what I'm saying?
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, dude.
Now,
So
do you take the rest of your turn to try to run through the door?
you know what? I'm gonna take the rest of my turn.
To try and run through the door.
Yes.
Roll
Burst of
me
speed.
a burst of speed.
Well, I took an action. I had my movement. It's regular movement.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting at. Is all right. You're gonna try to throw yourself through the door. Roll me a.
Acrobatics, athletics.
Let's go for an acrobatics check. Let's see as you try to Indiana
That's
Jones
a
your way
plus
through
one,
this.
you fool! You thought you were trapped in here with me, but I'm trapped in here. Hold on. That's a real strong 8.
God.
Maybe I should rely on a digital dice.
In his head right now,
Physical
Doug is
dice.
just like, man, I was giving you guys an out.
Literally
We don't-
giving you
we
guys
don't
an
give outs, we take them.
That is true.
Well,
that is true.
We two of us use the out.
Nah.
Stuart, have Runningham roll me some percentile dice, please.
More?
More percentile dice.
This time it's going to be inverse. It's going to be 3.
Interestingly enough, a 91.
Okay. As you run, try to jump and throw yourself through the door. What distracts you is the fact that your mage hand is now
It gives me a high five as I dive through the door.
No, it's more like
that's not
now
what
it's
you're gonna
kind of
okay.
it's the door is closed to just about the width from fingertip to forearm, because that's really as far as it goes. And the hand is still pushing against it and just moving. And you realize that if you had been 5, maybe 10 feet closer, you probably could have just kind of gone right through and not have to stress about it. Instead, you throw yourself and you land basically right at the entrance as the door continues to shut, and you're now prone, arms out, as if you're gonna baseball slide into base, and instead you kind of get stuck on the fact that it's rough rock, it's damp, you just kind of grip, your clothes are damp and gross, and it's just right there. Your arms are currently in range of being closed in the door, and you're able to get them out of the way just in time for it to. And you watch as your mage hand just poops out of existence.
Is there any writing on the doors? I like to cast comprehend languages. No.
I say you could. There was writing on the. You were told about it. I'm assuming
there's writing on the
about
wall that this dive would never have worked.
That is correct. The writing is on the wall.
Tough as nails.
Can I find a lever or anything?
You see some panels. There are some panels. Some other markings, and there's a spot near the right hand side of the door. Although there is a person in between you and it, a very startled looking redheaded individual.
I yell, "Open it, or I'll shoot you again."
Roll me an intimidate check.
Okay, this cannot go wrong. I have a +5. 19 + 5, 24.
Okay, you watch as he just kind of takes a half step, and then just kind of puts his hand on the panel, and then the door starts to open again.
Do I get to see Rittingham face down on the floor in a baseball slide position?
Except his arms are kind of up now because he didn't want them to get crushed. It was just kind of yeah. There's
I
some like
grab-
silvery blue powder like stuck to the insides of the door where, you know, a mage hand once was.
I grab the redhead's hand and lift it off of the door thing so it starts to close again.
Brinningham shimmies. He shimmies. He's shimmying. Shimmy, shimmy, ya.
You're able to shimmy through the door. Now, it does close like right as your feet kind of pass through the door. So you feel the tip of your shoe kind of like get barely pinched
Worth it.
before it kind of just comes shut. And it's a very soft sound of like just stone rubbing on stone as it just kind of like comes to a stop. The two gentlemen that are near you just kind of stare. So you guys got up pretty quick, I guess.
The questions here. You tell me where we are, what we're doing, and who you think you are.
We would really prefer if you put the shackles back on before we
I
answer
smack
any of
him in the
those questions.
face.
Roll to hit with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Why disadvantage?
You know, just they're wary, man. Just roll to hit with disadvantage.
It's a 13.
You're also trying to roll at their face, which is, you know, a full foot shorter than where your arm can reach if you wanted to slap them.
The 13.
Notice he used a foot-long glove.
So it actually does hit. So
Ah.
so you just kind of like watch as he just like, you know, takes the slap and then just kind of like rubs where it just kind of look. I don't make the rules here.
Okay,
we have all of your stuff. We can make this end very quickly. We just have to call a ruckus here. And he gestures at you, Clore. He's like, you've already been here. They're not going to be pleased that you're
frequent flyer
back.
miles.
Especially considering we didn't expect you to get out. But all things considered, right now, we could use all the help we can get, and so we need to. Oh, Bob,
Hey, Doug?
you want to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, while all this is taking place, my actions are something akin to this.
Oh, you're just kind of like quietly walking, at least kind of skirt away.
You got it.
Shimmy, shimmy,
Wait, you want our help? You want our help? We want our help with what?
I'll take you to the boss. He can explain. And then we can go from there. But he won't see you unless you're shackled. You can cast spells. That's going to be problematic.
What if all of us are out of energy to cast spells, and also I broke all the shackles, so this is kind of an awkward impasse where I'm here. And as if to prove my point, I point my sword at him and go, Eldritch Blast, but don't cast it, and then nothing happens.
a bluff.
See, I told you.
Roll me a deception check.
$15.
Okay. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, that's not good.
What's
Like
that?
hearing that from a DM.
It's a nat 20 on his, basically his opposing insight to the.
I dislike that.
Yeah, but he thought it was at least a funny joke, right? So,
See, he definitely did though. Like I agree. He totally thought it was kind of funny.
yeah, he's like, oh, this is a cool guy.
What a
tells
funny
jokes.
guy. You
He tells
know,
jokes. What a fun guy.
He's a cool guy. He's a fun guy.
He's a
like
fun
a
guy.
mushroom.
Just
Look, I
like
didn't
his
bring
buddy
you
the
here.
mushroom.
I don't want to have to bring you anywhere. We were just going to come in to make sure you guys were still alive. You blew off half of his face. That's going to be a problem. We kind of were hoping you would have some information about that. But I really can't, in good conscience, let you go further beyond this point without... you, come back here. Without... His passive perception's high enough. You rolled a 9.
I was just practicing. I was waiting for you to finish talking and then go, hey, can I do a stealth check? See, I was just practicing, burning off the bad numbers.
His passive perception's still high enough.
I'm not gonna lie, like you're not doing a good job of convincing me that I want to go anywhere. You kidnapped me twice.
I didn't kidnap you either time.
You, as in
Me personally.
this group of people that are being sketchy.
The royal you.
Yeah,
The
well,
royal version of you.
none of us are royalty. That's beside the point.
And you have all of my effects.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens.
You've got
when
my
you take someone
chorus, you've got my
prisoner.
echo, you've got my delay.
So you're openly calling me a prisoner and then telling me to reshackle myself. I think I'll take my chances. I'm just gonna, I guess, walk away.
Okay. You can
Doug,
just-
real quickly.
Which direction do you go? You can go left or you can go right. Yes, Jim.
Are there any? Is there any life in this hallway? Like any like salamanders, or is it like a well-kept hallway?
It seems to be relatively well kept.
Shit. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so Clore, which direction do you just start walking?
Can I see any indicators of which direction they came from?
The guy who you hit went to the left.
That's the direction that I will go.
Okay. You walk past the other one who's just kind of like, if you go out without, it's not going to work out for you. And just kind of like
Okay.
doesn't say anything like authoritative. I mean, he's the one who got intimidated into like touching the door and opening that. So they're just going to kind of watch as you walk away. Bob Renningham, do you follow or stay where you're at or what?
I'm still kind of put off that my intimidation techniques of smacking the man in the face didn't really do a lot. Honestly, a little it hurt.
I mean, sorry. And he just kind of looks down at you like,
Thank you.
What do you
Thank
want?
you.
What do you want me to? What do you want me to say? Like, I'm was trying to figure out what to do to help with you guys and get help from you guys and figure out what's going on here because I didn't put you here. But we can't take you to where we need you to go until after you are adequately restrained for the safety of ourselves and others. And your friend is probably about to get himself killed for not, complying with that. And the fact that you've broken the shackles, that's also problematic because we're running.
Well, who's gonna kill him? And where do these shackles need? Why do there need to be shackles? I think we could be in a shackle-free society. You know what? Who's telling you need to put shackles on us? Where do these shackles come from? Who made these shackles?
My boss told me that that's what needs to happen to let you guys out, but it was also to check to see what you guys were doing, how you guys were doing, if you guys were alive or not.
You know what, man?
You guys had taken quite the beating before being brought here.
I'm hearing a lot of I was told I should be this. You got to think for yourself, man. We ought to, you know what? You should join our party. We all need to get out of here. You are restricted by the people that employ you. Let's rise up, We can leave us out of here. We'll help you get to a place where you need to be.
And he hands him a flyer for the Teamsters Local 385. Join our union.
Okay, that's a good one. Trying to unionize the eco-terrorists.
Down with the man, save the empire.
Uh-huh. Gotcha.
So, while Renningham and Bob are having these interactions, and again, they're just like looking at you like, what are you talking about? Uh Clore, you keep walking down the hallway, and a good, 45 feet or so ahead of you is the one who, got part of his head
Went off.
Burton. And he turns, you can kind of see a doorway up ahead where he turns down. Um, and as he does, his hand is now kind of like at his side, and you can see that it's no longer as red. It looks like it's starting to kind of like smooth over on that portion of his face.
Oh, okay.
How smooth.
And the way that it has changed reminds you of that person you saw when you were trying to escape last time.
Ah.
I'm trying to remember that interaction. The one that was coming at me, like limping at me.
The one shortly before that,
Mm,
the one who threw you your bag.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. That was so long ago. I have no idea.
Who's throwing bags, dude?
When Clore
That's a
was
s-
trapped down here, so just to remind you, because in reality, in game, it's only been a week maybe since all that kind of went down, or 2 weeks. Sorry, since all that went down. When you were escaping, you ran out this door and went to the right. And as you continued
Yes.
to run, you eventually found a room that had masses of fungal flesh
Yes, I remember
kind of
that.
crawling, and there was a humanoid that looked like it was partway through a changeling transformation.
Yeah, being put together.
They were partially fungal in nature, and they apologized to you. And it wasn't really anything clear of just what they were apologizing for, but they were able to throw you your bag before they kind of like slumped over, and you could see as more of the fungus had taken over, and then that was what was following you. So the one that yeah,
Gotcha.
they gave you back
Now
your
I'm
pack
remembering.
as their last will, their last
Right.
capacity.
The last act of kindness before expiration,
Yep.
because fungi have expiration dates.
Right.
Your cat wants attention, Jim.
So
It just
Yeah,
am
I
I?
know.
just reached out for.
So
Yeah,
I guess
he does that.
based
It's
on
cool.
the regen that we just saw, am I under the impression that it could be peeled away? Like the fungal takeover and kind of
Give me a nature check with just straight nature check, just to.
18.
Okay.
Can
Well,
I have those
so
rolls, please?
I know I'm rolling well.
Rittingham, I don't know when you've
I'm angry
rolled
about it.
well outside of like the handful of times you need to bluff your way out of something.
The
Like,
nonsense? Yeah. No, I want good rolls when it matters as opposed to just nonsense.
so, Clore, what you understand about fungus and spores and infections and stuff like that, like it's not a whole lot, but typically if it's reached a point where something is on the outside, it means there's also infection inside. So peeling it away might be able to do something to maybe help slow it down, possibly if it's early enough, but you don't know for certainty whether or not that would actually be a cure. The other part that kind of stands out is just the fact that this person is undergoing a semi familiar plight as to the other person you had interacted with.
Right. Okay, so I guess like they're just following me?
So far they're still standing by the door. You're kind of on your own right now. They were still talking to the other two guys, trying to talk their way into a peaceful exchange coming up.
So I'll kind of slow down and I'll yell back like, it probably doesn't work for you if I get myself killed, so why wouldn't you just come with me and show me where I'm going?
They kind of look at each other. They look at Bob and Redingham, and it's like, you guys are all spellcasters, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to be not seen. Why do they keep looking at me?
There's nowhere for you to hide.
Damn it!
It's plain sight. It's an empty hallway. Like where are you gonna go? There's no alcoves. There's no.
If I'm really still and pressed up against the wall, can I look like the art on the wall?
All right, Drax.
You beat me to it. Yeah, no.
So yeah, they kind of look at you guys, kind of look at Clore down the way. We'll have to go get new shackles for you guys first.
We'd be
we'll come
completely
with
happy
you.
just to leave.
We'll come with you.
Yeah, no, if we let you guys actually leave, like that would be incredibly problematic. So, because you can't go that way, and he points in the other direction. He's like, so you have to go this way, and if you're going to go this way, you're going to have to be shackled for at least part of it until we figure out if you're allowed to have the shackles off, and then we have to figure out what to do with you, or if you can help us. Because otherwise, I don't know that any of us are going to make it out of here.
So you're relying on our help potentially, and I'm walking the direction you want me to go, but we're just hung up on some shackles.
We're hung up on formalities because leadership, makes the rules.
Okay.
And
shackles in front, not in back.
That's fair. Shackles in front. We can arrange that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing to shackles.
That's okay.
Let's just walk.
Then you're probably gonna die.
Okay. Do you want to escort me to my death, or
argue with those balls?
Well, part of this conversation is now going like however far you've walked down the hallway at this point.
I've
You're just kind of like,
I just stopped. Yeah.
Okay. You're still shouting back and forth down the hallway though, because you just were like, nope,
back,
yeah. So the one slightly closer, like just kind of like reaches into his back and pockets and just pulls out like a set of manacles, and so you're gonna put these on, right? And you know they both have the exact same voice. They have the exact same voice, the exact same kind of mannerisms.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over. All right, here you go. Put them on.
And the guy in front of you just kind of like pulls out a set and just clamps them on your.
Well, now, as he goes to clamp them on, I'm pulling my hands closer so that he has to come closer to me. At which point I lean in and I say, "Yes, we are spellcasters. Ooh, let's get me out of here. Let's get us out of here. Otherwise, we are going to fuck up some shit. Okay? Let's just get out of here." Okay, and then I let him go ahead and do it.
And he just kind of like clicks them into place, and you see as they like glow up, and there's like markings that kind of glow for an instant before they fade again.
And after they get done fading, I look at him and go, "We've gotten out of these twice. You think we're not going to do it again? Let's go."
Yeah, I can't get us out of them this time. So
he doesn't know that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now he does. You're talking down a hallway, guys. I can't get you out of them again.
I'm also not gonna look. He put them on. We'll call that a compromise. Let's walk.
The guy who's still walking up towards you with another set of manacles. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, you have my friend in manacles, and you have us outnumbered, and you could kill us anyway.
Explain how this works. and you agreed.
No, I
to the
did not agree.
manacles.
I did
They
not
agreed.
agree. Yes, they did. So put them in manacles. Let's go.
Rittingham, your interaction. He pulls out another set of manacles. Like it's your turn, little guy.
So I will present my arms in full cooperation with putting the manacles back on, but I will cast Mage Hand. And I will keep one hand behind my back and have one hand presented with the Mage Hand as the other hand.
He was in
So
a
that-
terrible tricycle accident when he was as a child. That's his magical replacement arm. Okay, just get over it, guys.
Well, I mean, I'm wearing sleeves, and so the Mage Hand, I tuck my arm in, and I have the Mage Hand. I cast the Mage Hand, so the sleeve is like around the Mage Hand. It's a little quick swap.
Is that a sleight of hand check?
Slight your hands.
I'll do a sleight of hand check. The dice haven't failed me tonight.
I'm just trying to think how you would even have done that from sliding through. Your hands were in front of you. You use them to get yourself up.
They were so distracted. Chlor was a menace. All right. And Bob came in like, listen, you want to mess around, buddy.
You know
better
what?
mess around and find out. And so
You know
I
what?
just come through with a mage hand up my sleeve.
Roll me a sleight of hand check with advantage. I'll
Ooh,
give the
yeah,
I'll give the
baby.
you are of short stature kind of coming through.
That's a
He's
19,
average.
baby. That's a 19. Average height man comes through with a sleight of hand.
And now I need you to figure out how to cast Mage Hand with vocal and somatic components.
So you're familiar with
Ventriloquism.
both ventriloquism, but also
Prestidigitation.
oh no, it starts with an M. Oh, my mind is failing me. Give me a second. I lost it. It's like that throat singing.
Tibetan
Tuvan
throat
throat
singing.
singing.
It's Tibetan, but I feel like Mongolian
There we
throat
go.
singing. And
Okay.
so as I'm walking up and I'm saying, and so he doesn't know what's happening. He just thinks that's how I talk. But I'm actually casting a spell, and it surprises everybody involved. And so the Mage Hand comes out, and he has no idea.
Roll me a performance check with disadvantage.
Okay.
As you try to blend together words and conversation with the casting of a spell, despite the fact they're not related.
That's a 9.
This would be a great opportunity to
If you
insert a
had said
sponsorship.
just roll me one, we would have been fine. But you decided to throw in a little disadvantage.
You're trying to talk. It's not even like you're trying to just discreetly cast a spell. It's one thing to be like, I'm going to try to whisper as I cast the spell. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
You are
It's
trying
like-
to have a partial conversation while matching the syllables in a word that's
It's
going
like
to go wrong.
beatboxing. It's like you wanna I'll cast my spell. What do you wanna when I say I go and he doesn't know what language I speak. Maybe I don't even speak his language. He just thinks that I'm like responding.
So
In a
he
foreign
doesn't
language.
notice the quick tuck hide of your arm with your shoulder out and your elbow kind of there. He does happen to hear, however, as you try to cast Mage Hand and watches as the spectral hand kind of shows up and it joins where you said it should and kind of pops up there, and he just kind of looks at the hand and looks at you and looks at the hand, looks at you. I can shackle you to me if that, because that could just go away anytime.
You think that I'm shackled to you, but in fact you're shackled to me.
That's how shackles work. Yeah.
And I cast Pocket Sand. It's prestidigitation actually, but little spark in his face, and I run away.
Which
I don't
way
wanna
do
be
you
shackled.
run?
Uh,
The way he told you to
South.
go, or the way after Chlor?
Following Chlor, naturally.
Is my guardian still close to me?
He
Your
is. He
guardian.
is still close to you. He's
I
still
just lean
basically
over
right
and,
there.
and say he has a flair for the dramatic. Just let it go.
And he kind of looks at you. He's like, I really can't let it go because they will kill him, and they will kill him, and then they'll probably
No,
kill me.
he still has a flair for the dramatic. It's
Yeah.
this is normal. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other guys, he's just kind of like trying to blink the sparks that were in his face kind of out of the way as you successfully distracted him from, grabbing onto you and like picking you up by the scruff of your shirt. So, the two of you guys will need. He complied, and we really ought to handle this peacefully. It would be really nice if we could continue to do that in a constructive and light manner. You did kind of blow part of my friend's face off.
That's just what you want.
That is exactly what I want. That is why I asked, and that is what was asked of me.
Likely story. And
Well,
the
I
mean-
station was a puff of smoke.
Oh, and it's not like it's a big plume of smoke. It's just like, and it's just like a little poof, a little woof out of your hand. It's not, it's like blowing out a candle, just like a poof.
Can I be Larry while everybody else is Curly and Mo?
I mean, if you want. Yeah. So,
I don't think
you
you
just keep walking?
understand that I have voluntarily let people put bracelets, shackles, whatever on my wrist for the past, I don't know, every day for the past 2 weeks, and it has not worked out in my favor. I'm telling you, I'm willing to talk and go with you. I'm not putting any. I'm not letting you.
Those
in prison.
bracelets were really problematic. I'm glad we were able to get rid of those because otherwise it'd be a real mess for us.
Yeah.
Why'd
they
you
were
stick yours on your
problematic.
ankle, by the way? Like the one turns to you is like, why was yours an anklet? Like, is that just a thing for you? Like,
Don't
I didn't even know they let you do that.
don't answer questions, Bob. Don't.
Oh, it was a discretion thing. Nobody looks at
Uh,
ankles. Everybody looks at wrists.
That makes sense. I take it those two aren't really big on discretion, are they?
No,
We're not big
they're
on people putting shackles on us and calling us prisoners.
I mean,
no, they have their own way of doing things.
involuntary visitors would be a more accurate assessment at this point, considering we're actively letting you out of the area that you were restrained in with the hopes of having a just go ahead, just see what happens. It's up to you, man. I'm glad that you are complying with us, and I'm sure we'll be able to talk more plainly once we're where we need to be.
I feel like an absolute winner of this conversation, so I politely turn and continue walking.
Okay.
It seems like he knows what he's talking about. You should listen to him, and you honestly would be privileged to let us on the way. And I follow Chlor because I think
Okay.
we're going kind of the same direction.
Yeah, we're going the direction that he wants us to go. We just refuse to put the shackles on, which he claims is going to get us killed.
Yeah, no. I refuse to be shackled.
But I also would like to note that as I walk, I am walking down the middle. I am not sneaking. I am not threatening.
You're walking defiantly.
I am that is good. I am walking defiantly with my head held high, as if I am choosing this and not, in fact, a prisoner.
Involuntary visitor.
I am very voluntary, kind of, but we're walking of our own volition.
Rinningham's, a few steps behind you, and the two redheads next to you, Bob, just kind of, I guess we'll follow after them, and
Yeah. All we can do now is just enjoy the show. Let's go.
Okay.
And even though they clearly don't believe me, I continually point at them and yell Eldritch Blast, but don't actually cast it.
The first time, the one that you intimidated earlier flinches, and then after that, they both just kind of just ignore it.
Okay, real quick question. Has absolutely nothing to do with anything that's going on. When studying magic, is it in your native tongue or are you studying something like, for example, Latin?
Typically, spell writing is in Draconic, so I guess you would
So
kind of have to be,
able to read and speak Draconic. So while
Well,
trying to do
it's a semantic thing though, because the arcane symbols are in. It's more like, hey, you know Greek letters because you've done algebra, not you know Greek.
Okay.
So it's more formulaic than it is vocal.
Okay.
It's a more technical answer. At least lore wise, that's been always my understanding of how that stuff tends to work.
And divine spells, are they done in your native language?
So divine spells, that's where it gets weird. You don't typically see scrolls of divine spells, unless they're also spells that can be cast a different way, with only a few like minor exceptions, and then those are usually written in a closer to an arcane fashion, because that's basically the translation. Is you're taking the divine and turning it into a formula.
Okay.
The ability to cast those things, usually, your clerics, your paladins, though it's not a studied thing in the same way that like wizardry is. And so like wizards can learn spells by taking a scroll and deciphering it, but a cleric can't do that because a cleric is gifted their spells.
I was just curious because in different games that's handled different ways. I was just curious.
Yeah, it's weird nuance semantics on some of that. I mean, typically when you want to read a spell and understand the details of it, you would usually like do a comprehend languages, and then you'd be reading in Draconic.
Good go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, so we're meandering.
Okay, so as you you meander, two guys. I mean, unless you strike up a conversation, Bob, the two guys kind of walking beside you, just kind of like there. The one who had the extra pair of shackles just kind of like sticks them in his pocket. Rinningham, are you still like having your arm kind of mage handed?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to be fully restrained. I just want to be like kind of lightly restrained.
Okay, so you're walking ahead of them, and your arm is now visible behind your back where you were hiding it, so that you could do the mage
It's
hand.
tucked like behind my jacket. Like it's tucked in my shirt. Like it's still not visible. Like you tuck your arm.
Yeah, how were you able to do that in front of them, where you were trying to like, yeah, how? Stuart, explain to me doing that in front of someone without them noticing, so that you could then turn around and cast a spell.
They think it's a growth. They've never seen a Verdan before. They don't know my anatomy. They think it's just a really long ponytail. I don't know.
Okay. And your mage hand's just walking with you.
They probably see it. They probably see it. They're like, that's kind of weird. He has a third
Well, that's
hand
the part
that's floating.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're walking ahead. Floor, you pass a door on the left hand side. It's shut, but then up ahead you can kind of see where that other guy had kind of walked through.
Are there any obvious signs that say like neon signs that say like exit with an arrow?
No.
Is
Strangely enough, there's no
layer OSHA compliant?
Yeah, there's strangely no like bright neon lights or floodlights set up for waiting for the power to go out and then it can light up the hallway. Like none of that. Sorry. Unfortunately, there's no fire alarm things along the wall either. So if there was to be a fire,
I will be lodging a formal protest with OSHA.
Okay.
since we've all kind of agreed to walk together eh, for more or less be escorted by these guys without even though I'm not shackled. Are they like are they walking with us now?
If you slow down to like let them
Sure.
catch up with you, you mean?
Yeah, I'll slow down and let them
I mean,
catch up.
they're walking with Bob, and so he was the furthest behind you guys. So if you guys wait
Yeah,
for him, then
I'll slow down. I'll slow down and let them catch up and just kind of walk and be like, so what exactly are you guys trying to get done that you might need our help for? But like in a casual way,
Respectfully,
respectfully.
what's going on?
we'll let the boss explain a bunch of that to you because it's not exactly the easiest to articulate, and we don't really fully understand what's going on, and they can much better do that.
Can you tell me a little bit about your boss, just so I know enough information to be respectful? I don't want to pry into his personal life, but if we're meeting
My
your boss,
my
I probably
understanding is
should.
that you guys might know him already, so there's that. Well, just it's fine. He's a cool dude. If you don't, cause a problem.
Does does your boss have horns?
No.
I was like, are we about to
Do
walk
you
in
wish your boss had
and
horns?
Penn be like the mastermind behind all?
Penn is the big bad evil guy all along. No.
That would be
No.
hilarious.
That'd be
That would be
awesome.
really hilarious, but no.
Would be. That really
You
would.
approach the throne. It's Theo. He faked his whole death.
Uh,
PG.
that's not funny in the
Now
slightest.
that would be an awesome plot.
Kind of
twist.
funny. That'd be really fun.
The worst villain ever.
Then who did we bury?
Literally, literally, I
What
feel like
body did we see consumed
Oh,
by
it's
the fungus?
amazing what you can do when you're a high-level spellcaster. And
Oh,
you have plenty of people who no one will miss at your disposal.
so what can you tell us?
That you're probably gonna get murdered if you don't put on shackles.
But like, is your boss like opposed to reason? Like, hey, I'm here.
No, in
I'm
fact,
calm.
he's quite the paragon of reason, and that's actually part of why he thinks it's more than reasonable for
I'm
unknown
docile.
guests to. You
can
have
sleep in a
proven
bucket.
otherwise, like immediately after we got here.
I feel as though you aren't giving me enough credit for the fact that I'm protecting my friends.
Oh no,
And
it's definitely impressive.
so maybe the impressiveness will warrant me at least a half second of explanation when I meet your boss,
Yeah.
not to be immediately murdered.
I mean,
Especially
he's
since
not going to
the goal
murder
is
you
to
personally, but
get my help. So
well, really, we need anybody's help at this point, and you guys haven't been down here long enough to be part of the problem. So unless you have been down here long enough to be part of the problem, which we'll have to figure out pretty quickly.
well,
All
lead the
right,
way.
so you're only a few feet ahead from the other doorway. Do you keep moving? Do you like what do you?
I say lead the way. Lead the way to your boss. Take me to your leader.
So as you step through, like they step in front of you, and the first thing they do is their hands are up to them. They each have like the extra pair of shackles like in their hands, and it's like they refuse to comply. We decided for our own lives instead of taking rid of them. It's up to you guys. And just like they kind of like briskly start walking in front, and the room is filled with cots, supplies, people. The beds, many of them have people on them, some of which have growths that are starting to occur on parts of their body. Others where the cot and person lying on top of it appear to have been consumed in flame, and they just kind of left it there for the time being. There's a pile of supplies that's kind of smoldering off in the distance. You can see as people are sifting through stuff and tossing things onto the fire. and person takes off as they're walking towards you. They're wearing rather nice robes, little dirty, but you could tell that they were like once rather swanky. A little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, kind of like shows through and shines up a little bit. Very soft, very flowy, kind of similar to some of Rinningham's clothes before they kind of got torn up a bit. And he's wearing a mask, and as he takes it off, you can see he's a tan-skinned individual, and he looks down at Rinningham. I never thought I'd see you alive. It's been a
Joke's
long
on you.
time, my friend.
Hmm?
And you are staring at the face of your mentor from when you were a resident here in Golden Spires before the fall.
That's yeah.
Oh,
dude.
shoot.
And that's where we're going to stop tonight's session.
Cliffhanger. Yay!
Disagree. Let's keep going.
Emotional
My guy,
investment.
it is like nearly midnight my time, and there's not really a whole lot else we could do in this time other than lots of exposition dump, which is not really the best way of ending an episode, but a decent way to start an episode or a session. So
But we can all
Thank
agree
you, DM. That
that
was super fun.
I didn't immediately die for not having shackles. So that guy lied to me. And I don't
And
appreciate
also,
it.
I'm still not shackled because the one hand. You know what I mean? Right?
So Bob, you're
You
screwed.
didn't die yet.
emphasis on the yet.
Emphasis
Remains
on
to be seen.
we
Was
found
he
Rinningham's best friend in the whole
involved in?
world.
Why is he with these redheaded cherry?
Things for you to
Guys.
think about over the next week.
Wow.
Ooh.
If we get
Only a
back-to-back
week,
weeks in-
right? Only a week.
Yeah,
Only
we
a
get
week,
back-to-back
guys.
weeks in.
Only a week.
Only
Only a
dare-
week.
I dare say this is a good cliffhanger episode.
I liked it.
The
You
next
guys did
time that you
great
want to see a
job.
cliffhanger episode and you're
Fantastic
traveling
and
abroad,
triumphant return after a number of months. We did great. Good job.
Yeah, lots of random everything, followed by some D&D, and we got some momentum, and hopefully next session we get to really, take things to another level.
Heck yeah.
So,
Mm,
I guess I'll have to figure out and see if this is actually a pivot point to do Penn's half next, because this went differently than I had planned for, that's always the case. So I have to figure some things out for next session now. But next week we're gonna try for it. You hear that, folks? You hear that? Keep us honest. Shun us on the internet if we, don't shun us on the internet. But
be
you
nice.
understand that our lives are crazy,
Cancel
and
Doug if it doesn't happen next week. Cancel Doug.
yeah, I mean, if they watch the first half of this, I'm gonna get canceled no matter what. So,
well,
oh
Yeah.
god, yeah, that's the
editing
thing.
notes, big time editing
Yeah,
notes.
yeah.
If you didn't see
it-
this live, you're not going to. You missed out because you're not.
there's
see
gonna
what
be
happened.
some cleanup when this VOD disappears. That's it. We'll circle back to that at some point. Although the clip show for this could be very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Oh, this is blooper reel upon blooper reels. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. It's been a long time since we've gotten to play this, and I've really missed it a lot, and I've been really looking forward to this, and hopefully we can all get together for next session next week. That's the plan. I plan to be here if I don't die camping this weekend. That's the thing. Anyway,
Faster than your camping buddy. Outrun the bears. You're fine.
yeah, no, I can definitely. Oh, two of them are children. I can outrun them.
Oh, yeah.
And other things that'll get me canceled. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time we stream. Hopefully D&D next week, if I manage to pull time out of the magical ethereal realm that exists above us all. Maybe I'll stream Friday and or Sunday. Doubtful, but maybe we'll try. No, can't stream Sunday. D&D Sunday with Sam. Sam's team.
That's
Sam's
right.
group.
That's right.
That's right.
We have to resume our campaign.
Okay, so maybe I won't D&D, or not D&D, stream Sunday. We'll find out. Anyway, time's ethereal, and I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. Okay, bye.